too dark. I will definitely lighten it up. I'm hoping to get away with this. Yeah, so I was saying I have to do laundry. I want to try to pack everything clean and folded and neat and organized. So I'm going to do laundry through the night, get it done, and then I think I'll just do it and fold it. I'll pack it and organize it tomorrow. That's the plan, at least.
What day are you actually moving?
I think it's going to be Wednesday. Right now.
Hang on. I got to mute this. I got an echo, double echo. There we go.
Yeah, I can hear that. Hopefully Wednesday. I'm hoping that the partition wall that needs to go up will be up tomorrow, mudded and painted. That's the goal for the day.
Very nice. Yuka, Ryan, Silver Surfer, Tally Foreman, Derek, good morning. Cassius, Art Baglio, Sub has the boss. What's going on, guys?
I peed, Roseanne, Sound Alerts, Mitashu, AMC Panda. How you guys doing tonight? Hello, good evening.
Dufresne, I peed in Kenny's pool. Love the name. Welcome back, David. Dude on the couch, good evening.
Let's see, Corbin, David, good evening. Mike, Adrian. Oh, we got all my peeps in here. Who did I miss here? Dufresne, good evening. Mr. Simon, welcome back. Dana, how you doing, girl? SoCal, good evening. And Steven, good evening.
How's everybody's Friday evening doing?
Man, I can't believe it's Friday.
Massalorian, I feel like I haven't talked to you in about 8 days. Why don't you catch us up with what you've been up to, or is it a secret?
I wouldn't say it's a secret. I'll just say that, I want to unveil everything at once, but I'll definitely fill everyone in on what's going on. So basically, this move has been transpiring over the last few days between packing and getting things ready in the new place to be able to run the studio properly with the acoustics and everything. It's a total different setup compared to what I have right now, just the dimensions of the room and the layout. So I got to put a partition wall up. There's just a lot of work to do. So I've been doing that physical labor to get that done for a new set and also somewhere for me to have a bedroom. And basically, just to make a long story short, the living room now is going to be walled off with a partition wall, and that will be the second bedroom. And then the smaller bedroom that's in the middle between the master suite and the living room will be the sitting area, living room, or guy room to watch the game, whatever the hell you want to call it.
So it's not true what I heard on other channels that you were out interviewing with hedge funds?
I was not. No one tried to recruit me. No one tried to recruit me.
I tell you what, man, the rumors that go around on YouTube are something else.
Some things never change. Some things never change. Emerald Jeff, good evening. How you doing tonight? 24 the money. Smith, good evening. Eager to squeeze. David Portier, good evening. Kiwi girl, how you doing tonight? Carl J, Backyard Boogie. T, take it away. Wow.
Jesse, Tyrese, Tama, Meagle, Natsuka, good evening. DC Fam for Life, good evening. Natsuka says, I'm telling you, there is no recession. Vegas is crowded with middle-class families spending like crazy. I heard, I heard my friend up in New York saying that we shouldn't do the post-MOAS party in Vegas because of,
Yeah.
Oh, that thing is going on what there. He meant, Natsuka. Maybe you could fill us in.
Please do. Let us know what's going on in Sin City.
Sergeant Beef, what's going on? Big Daddy Smurf, Massalorian, moved to Florida. I did hear that there were some other YouTubers moving to Florida. It was coincidental that was right around the time that Kenny G announced he was moving. Do you think there's anything to that?
No.
I
think he thinks Chicago is extremely dangerous and getting more dangerous by the day. And he's one of the richest men on the planet. And why would you put yourself at risk if you don't have to?
And he's
he lives in a.
He's got that big mansion on the island right off the coast.
Looks a lot safer, doesn't it? Looks like pretty isolated, good area to wait out the shit hitting the fan. I'd say.
Yep.
I'd say. Yeah, but other than that, the move heading south, I figure it's going to be good for a few reasons. Being closer to New York City for stories, being closer to DC, Philly, some of the bigger East Coast cities. So if something major story did break, it would be a lot closer than I am now to those areas and that the whole beltway around DC. So it's another. I'm trying to think of all the positives, right? You lose your independence, but you gain maybe a better home base operation location to start to do your extensive journalist work, or whatever your
Are you
platform.
talking about your new pad?
Yeah, just that it's closer to the big cities. Like I'm moving 2 states south and getting closer to New York and DC and some of the areas that have some of the bigger stories.
You won't still be in Massachusetts?
No. I'm going to be in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. I don't think I ever really got that part. I knew you said it was a bit of a drive, but I just thought you were moving from one end of town to the other.
No.
Rhode Island.
No. Yeah, I'm going to be like an hour and 20 minutes outside New York City. Oh, about an hour and a half, probably.
So are you going to be like the Massalorian? Are you going to change your channel name?
No, it's the Rhode Island, Oregon. No,
Yeah.
not a chance. Not a chance. No, the name stays. My heart's always going to be in Boston, no doubt.
You're never going to lose the Boston accent, so may as well keep Massalorian.
Or the attitude or any of that. Like, the chip that you have on your shoulder. There's a lot of things that are good about it, a lot of things that are not so nice about it. I'll try to accept all the good things. I try to practice those at least. Diaz, good evening. How you doing tonight, my friend? Jason, good evening. Jam Bams, good evening. Adrian, I see. Cassius Bozeman, good evening. Corey Jones, John's Touchback, Shirley, Danny R, Arthur Martin, good evening, good evening. Who am I missing? We'll get a bunch in the middle. You want to take some of these in the middle, T?
Yeah, we got Jeff. Jeff says, good evening. Love the content. Thank you, Jeff. Danny R says he was in Eight Fathers love stream. That sounds scary. I hope that was a typo.
I hope
Don't
so.
want to be in his love stream.
No. Stay out of that lane of fire.
Belle Biv DeVoe shipping down to Rhode Island. Whoa. Dips Patel, good evening.
That's funny. Who said shipping down to Rhode Island? Who said that?
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Oh,
you can free tell says I'm late. What did I miss? You hadn't missed anything yet. We're just catching up on where Massalorian's moving to. We're going to get into a little bit of stock stuff tonight. Answer your guys' questions because Mass has been MIA for a week, and I've been around. I've got some live streams in and some videos out, and a lot of time in the Discord, but just wasn't a lot going on in the stock market this week to be live streaming 8 hours a day, as you guys know.
Perfect. I gotta say, Bill Bev DeVoe, I just the shipping up to Rhode Island thing. That's so crazy that you just said that because I've been trying to work on a new intro and a bunch of other things, and that song is actually I'm planning on trying to use at least a partial piece of that music for shipping up to Boston. I'm hoping.
Is that a name of a song? Shipping down to Rhode Island?
No, shipping up to Boston is a song.
Okay.
From the gangster movie with Jack Nicholson and Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I know the movie. I can't think of the name of it.
Shit, chat, help us. God help us. I don't know that. I'm gonna get slaughtered in Boston. Dropkick Murphys, the band, yes. What's the movie? Oh my God, this is embarrassing. Departed. Thank you, Nicholas. Departed.
Yeah, that was an excellent movie.
Excellent movie. Hey, you want to hear a crazy story about that real quick? So at that time, I was out
before we get into the serious stuff.
Yes, real quick. When I was out in San Diego in school, there was a report on the front page of the San Diego Times when I was out there that someone had seen Whitey Bulger or someone that looked like him and his wife at the movie theaters in San Diego, which was right down the street from the school, and had contacted the FBI. It was on the front page of the San Diego Union Tribune. And sure enough, they ended up finding out it was absolutely him. He was moving from Eastern San Diego up to LA. Remember, he got caught in LA when they arrested him. Whitey, the gangster, the Boston gangster?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know that story? Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. So this makes no sense to you what I'm saying about Whitey?
So he got busted. He got recognized by going to a movie.
Someone saw him and reported to the FBI, and it comes to find out afterwards, after he was actually apprehended 10 years later, it was Whitey. He was in the area at the time, hiding out from the FBI, and then he ended up moving up to LA. But I remember the day the paper came out, and I was like, Whitey Bulger. I'm like, this is the Boston gangster. I'm like, what would he be doing in San Diego? He's on the run from the FBI. Or the FBI had killed him, and he's been gone a long time, and they're trying to play like he's still around. So, but it was pretty crazy. It would end up being him. And that would have been a nice payday if I got that reward money. It was like 10 million on his head from the FBI. He's on the 10 most wanted list, right? The lady who caught him in LA I think she got 10 million. Damn it.
I got one funny story for you, which I don't think I told you on the phone earlier. The people in my Discord know this, but we discovered something new about rabbits. You know, Scarlett's got her pet rabbits. I call them alternate food source if shit hits the fan. But they're going through their prepubescent phase. They're both males. Did you know that when males are entering puberty, they attempt to mutilate each other so they will be the only one with balls?
No way. They try to rip each other's testicles off?
Yeah, one of them did.
Oh my God.
We discovered that the hard way one day. She woke up and she's like, one of them's looking a little bit listless. She picked it up and his like abdomen was ripped open and dangling meat.
Wow. I didn't know that. So this is when they're young, juvenile rabbits. This happens before?
They sneak up behind each other and just, you know, rip.
My God. Wow.
Brutal.
That's for dominance, huh?
Yeah, brutal. So they were already scheduled to go to the vet for the little snip anyway. So that one just got his a week early.
with no lidocaine, right? No general anesthesia.
Well, there wasn't any lidocaine from his brother, but there was at the doctor. Yeah.
Okay. It's good. Let's see. Who do we got new in the chat here? Danny R, good evening. Bell Biv DeVoe, I didn't say what's up. Tyrese, 0-05. Rob, J Stars, 0-05. I got that. Mike, I got Danny. Chris, good evening. Tally Foreman, Carl J. I think I'm down on the bottom. Steven Cyber, good evening. All right, enough chat. I guess we've chatted enough, right?
Let's see what Steven's saying here. After 2 years, only up $175. Keep saying they are bleeding and watching hedge funds go down and banks losing tons of money, yet they hit max pain almost every week.
Is this ever?
Yeah, you know, those are not things that you hear on these channels, Massalorian or Tony Denaro, that they're bleeding and the hedge funds are going down and banks are losing a ton of money. I talk about what we need for a short squeeze, but those are not my themes on this channel. I don't think I've ever heard. Do you say that regularly, Mass?
No, I don't.
You know, one of the reasons we're here, if this is your first time here, guys, welcome. We stick to fact-based, non-clickbait things that we know are factual, and there's plenty of good reasons that this stock can squeeze. In fact, I want to recap later. Not too much later, but you know, soon, my 3 things that we really need to get a squeeze in this stock or any stock. But most of my reasons have nothing to do with all the stuff you hear on YouTube every day for the last year. In fact, that's getting frustrated at hearing that stuff every day is why I finally turned on the camera, because it was pissing me off, honestly. People being told this stuff, and then you get this welling up of excitement that it's about to happen, and then the day comes and nothing happens, and then just wake up tomorrow and it's Groundhog Day again, and whatever they told you was going to happen, it's like they never said it, and they move on to the next thing. Right? Yep. I get it. I understand why you're frustrated.
100%. Yes. I can just put myself in anyone's shoes that has been talking about these dates as if there's some kind of guarantee. And look, we've discussed a lot of them on this channel. We've openly discussed them. I think with everyone's kind of weighed in with their thoughts. We've kind of juggled around some of the ideas, but as far as like a hardline date or any type of actual catalyst that can trip this, I think we've been pretty clear that we just don't know what that is. There are a few possibilities of things that could happen, but we just don't know.
Let's tackle a couple of his points real quick. That the hedge funds are bleeding, right?
Yeah.
And going down. Some of them are for sure, right? We've seen hedge funds go out of business. If they're long, if you're a long hedge fund or you were long on derivatives and you got caught pants down in the bear market, you're gonna be in trouble right now, without a doubt.
Yep.
But hedge funds' job is to anticipate market conditions and hedge. And there are some that are having record profits in June 2022 because they were shorting and buying puts on everything. So it's not being upfront with you guys to tell you that every hedge fund is bleeding. That's just not factual. Are there some? Yes. Do I hope that a big one made a key mistake and start some dominoes tumbling? Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm not naive enough to think that every hedge fund is about to go out of business. There are plenty that are going to make an absolute killing in a market like this if they were a bearish hedge fund, especially. That's one. And number two, banks losing tons of money. Did you see bank quarterly earnings this week or last week? When was it?
I just heard basic general numbers. What was there anything
that
stood out?
They weren't horrible. Banks are doing fine and they'll make a lot of money as interest rates go up, but they are having to set money aside for potential losses of loans, right? That doesn't mean they're doing bad. In fact, I watched a year ago, JP Morgan did the same thing. They missed their earnings because they were setting a bunch of cash aside for potential losses. And then everyone got all excited about it. And then 2 or 3 quarters later, boop, right back into the books because they didn't need it. They didn't have as many losses as they anticipated. So banks are not doing horrible right now. I know you're hearing, liquidity crisis, Yes, there will be some liquidity issues slowly as the Fed starts trimming up that balance sheet, but that's a 3-year process. It's not like the Fed turns off the spigot on June 1st and there's no more liquidity in the market. That is not how it works. Sorry. China, on the other hand, China's got its own special set of issues. There are a couple banks. Story, huh? There's 4 that I know of, 4 rural banks in China that haven't let people withdraw money since April. That's not every bank in China. But yeah, are some banks having issues? Sure. Around the globe, always. And in China, maybe something will happen. Maybe we'll crash the Chinese stock market. We've been keeping a close eye on that. That's definitely in the universe of possibilities. It's headed that way, seemingly.
Yep. It's definitely in the tea leaves.
It's not like the U.S. is about to turn off all ATMs tomorrow and banks are all going under. We're not there.
No. And no one's storming the presidential palace and throwing out the prime minister, and we'll have none of that. So I think we're going to be safe.
You never know what kind of stupid derivative products or greedy little things they did like 2008, right? There's always the potential of something just rug pulling the banks. If they did something stupid and the market crashes another 10, 20%, someone could be left hanging out to dry. Absolutely.
Yes.
But this little trickle down nonsense that we're doing and interest rates going, banks make their money from loaning out money and making income off the difference between what the Fed charges them and what they loan it to you. So as long as loans don't dry up,
they're constantly making money.
Yeah, they're always making money.
Yep. J-Stars says some are bleeding, some are not, some have blown up, and some are thriving. Exactly, J-Stars. Great way to explain it, man. 100%.
This is not a systemic, everybody's going bankrupt thing. It's just not.
No. Nope.
Could a couple, 1 or 2 big ones get caught pants down if things get really upside down? Absolutely. But those are not common events.
No. But with that said, the market conditions we're seeing right now the probability of that happening, I'm sure the percentages are a lot higher than they normally would be. So just keep that in the back of your mind, guys. That's all.
Yeah. The more the market crashes and the more people are defaulting on stuff, look at crypto. Do you think any of them thought they were going bankrupt 6-8 months ago? Nope. But they made bad decisions. A couple of them went out of business. Celsius, Voyager. If some banks made some bad decisions, there could be a couple that go out of business if things deteriorate further. Absolutely.
For sure. Let's say hey to some people. Monty Barger, good evening tonight. I saw Grandpa Barney in the chat. Grandpa Barney, good evening tonight. Big Daddy Smurf. Let's see. Who did I miss here? I want to make sure I get everybody. I saw some people. I know I saw some people that I missed. Arthur Martin, good evening. Peter Joy. Danny R. Mike Barr. Who am I missing? JFL Mita. Good evening to all you guys. If I missed someone, I apologize. JA33, good evening, my friend. Rob, I see Rob in here. Rob, good evening. Manjeet just stopped by. Good evening, Manjeet. All right, I think I got a bunch of people. Thomas B, good evening. This will squeeze, says Thomas B. Yeah, so a couple things. Nothing's really been brought up about yet about AMC. So just talking about, do you want to touch on a couple things that we touched on earlier, or do you want to just wait to see?
Why don't you go ahead and get started on that? I'm going to put up all the bank earnings in my screen just so I can see.
Okay.
You go ahead and get us started. This will take me 60 seconds.
All right. So I did put down in the description that we possibly could discuss something about DRS. I know there's a big debate in the community right now about DRS and ComputerShare and everything. Apparently, I don't know. I've been painting and doing many other things, trying, Tony knows how I feel about the whole thing, but let me just give you guys some information, some numbers, and then you do with what you like with the information. But on March 17th of 2022, there was an article that came out, basically from GameStop's Q4 2021 earnings, and they came back with an 8.9 million GME direct registered shares to ComputerShare. Then Q1 2022 came back. That number had gone from 8.9 to 12.7. So as of right now, that is, please tell me I wrote it down, the percentage. 16%, I think, was the number. So I guess the great debate about it is, or maybe more, I guess the more interesting question is can DRS possibly bring on the squeeze? Or do you need DRS? Is that the only way you can squeeze? Now, with 12% of the float being held in DRS, which is a high number, right? With that amount, try to understand that, I think the idea is that everyone's trying to get to at the end of the day is everyone wants to be able to get everyone rallied around this idea for DRS, that we can all go in together and that would cause the squeeze. And I think if anything, GME has shown us after this whole 18 months from back January 2021, what has DRS done at this pace to really do anything magnificent? A lot of the price action we've seen on GameStop over the last 18 months has been based off news, catalysts, information coming out, things that they're doing, earnings reports, all types of different reasons why the stock has gone the way it has. Take the algorithmic trading out of it. And I think that's maybe what people are trying to figure out. Do you need the DRS to squeeze? And I would say as of right now, no, because it didn't take that back in January 2021 to squeeze GME. How many shares were DRS at that time?
Almost none.
So do you need it necessarily for the squeeze? I would say no. Could it help? Absolutely. Can we get 50% of GME shareholders to DRS to ComputerShare? Can we organize that? How do you do that? I think those are some of the bigger questions.
How many years would it take?
How many years
would be my question to get outreach to everybody in this community to DRS a total of 500 million shares. The other kind of I just want to start off by saying the same thing that I've been saying for months and months. It's no secret my position on DRS. I support anyone who is pushing for DRS, and I support anyone who doesn't care about DRS or doesn't like it, because at the end of the day, I've said over and over, you guys do what you want. I personally don't care about it. I think it's too big of a windmill to tilt. And I looked into it myself a year ago, and based on what I came up with doing my due diligence a year ago, I decided not to do it myself. That doesn't mean I'm going to tell you not to do it. Absolutely. If you want to do it or you want to follow someone that does it, no problem for me. I have my own personal reasons, and that is no secret to anybody in this community. I've been very transparent with everyone and you guys many, many times. I'm not doing it. You know why? But I have no beef with anyone who wants to do it or who does not want to do it. It's just, there's so many issues to cover in a day that I don't have time to go spend another week digging into redoing all my due diligence that I did a year ago on ComputerShare. And I'd say the people that care about it should get together and talk it out. That's what I'd like to see. And by talk it out, I don't mean a 3-hour live stream. Like 2 people together on a camera for 30 minutes should be able to hash it out. Absolutely. Wouldn't you think, Mass?
I would think so. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yep. And I don't know who Adrian's bullying, but those 2 words go together. Don't know what's going on in the chat. MC, good evening, my brother. How you doing tonight, man?
Much MC, love, thank you, friend.
Who did I miss in the chat? Ryan Williams, good evening. BioLife, I see. Diaz left. Good night, Diaz. KD Sweaty, good evening. Let's see. 24 the money, I see here. All the OGs. JA33, I got. Who am I missing? Tama, good evening. Freekekistan, Tally Foreman. Oh, I can't wait. I still need to blow up this screen.
I'm looking at all the banks that reported Thursday and Friday, and none of them really, I mean, all of them are fine. Washington, who is this? Washington Federal, JPM, FRC, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, BlackRock, PNC, USB, State Street, everyone that reported this week is as good as they were the day before or better. So I'm not seeing that anyone had any horrible results from reporting their earnings this week. As far as their stock price goes, right? I did see the only one that I really paid attention to is JP Morgan, because they were the first and they were the biggest, and I saw that they set aside a massive amount of money, like $400 million for potential loans that might not get paid. And then I stopped paying attention. But now I got them all up on one screen. I don't see a lot of bloodletting. All of them closed green for the day.
So no one's in serious trouble, right?
Yep. And after hours today, let's see, the only one that was after hours was down 0.04%. The only one that was down after hours. So I'd call that a non-event. If a bank was having bad earnings, you'd see multiple percent drops. Or even if they reported on Thursday, they wouldn't have recovered today if it was that bad.
Nope. Absolutely not. Yucca Furta says Wells Fargo. Yeah, but we've known about Wells Fargo for years, right?
Wells Fargo is up 6% today, Massalorian.
Yeah. And they've had issues for a long time behind the scenes, and they're still raking in money. So what does that tell you?
After hours, they went up another 0.12%. So
Sub to the boss, of course I missed you, man. I did. It's not fun. Trust me, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing. But when it's done, I think it will be worth it, especially with all the added content that's going to come in the future. I just think it's the right thing to do right now. But yeah, of course I missed everybody, man.
Let me answer Chaz Mano's question. Chaz, I'm assuming he's saying he joined the channel. I'm assuming you joined on YouTube so you could get access to the Discord. I'm going to put a link right now in the chat. If you joined on YouTube, you have to go into Discord and into the settings of Discord and link it with your link Discord to YouTube. So let me put the link from the Discord FAQ just so you can follow that. It's pretty straightforward. Give me 1 second. You can go ahead, Mass. I'll pop this in the chat.
And guys, Thomas B has had that number forever. I'm sticking with that number with him. I'm into the end. Boston Strong, what's going on, my friend? Good evening, man. Good evening. Kiwi Girl says JP Morgan reported their earnings halved. Carl J says banks ripped. They're chatting on Massalorian. Go ahead.
I was gonna talk about what are the 3 things that I think we need for a short squeeze.
Okay.
Because everybody's got all their catalyst ideas, right? I think it's very simple. You need a catalyst, you need a loaded options chain, and you need buying pressure.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Volume.
So we've seen months go by where everybody's all excited about the options chain, like January, right? Wasn't that the biggest options chain we've had in 6 months?
140s. Yep.
But options chain by itself ain't going to do jack shit if nobody's buying. You could have 5 million options sitting out there in open interest out of the money, and that will do zero to move the stock price. You guys got to buy to get the price up, and they got to not act to counter that. So
right.
Loaded options chain is partly what helped GameStop and AMC back in 2021. You got to have buying pressure. So I always say buy and hold is good, but if you stopped buying, you're letting other people dictate the price. If all you're doing is holding, you're doing part of the work. No disrespect to you, but the people that are buying or selling every day are the ones setting the price. So guess what? If we're all just sitting back now and waiting, we're not setting the price anymore. We're just watchers of this stock. Does that make sense, Mass?
Yeah. Yes.
So if hedge funds want to go in there and short it or sell it, and we're just holding, well, we're at their mercy. They'll drive the price down
right
until someone decides to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have buying pressure every day. I know what everyone says, but holding is not good enough. And then ideally, I'm hoping that we get both of those things lined up, or maybe the buying pressure lined up right after a catalyst, a real catalyst, an unknown catalyst, I call it, that the hedge funds were not expecting. Right. Like whatever this pounce is that Adam Aaron has, like we've been theorizing maybe a partnership with Paramount. If Adam Aaron's pounce is we moved popcorn into the grocery stores early in August instead of December, well, that ain't going to do it, kids. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's not a catalyst.
That's not a pounce.
It's not even a pounce, but you got to have a real catalyst, which is preceded and or followed by buying pressure. You got to have high short interest. That's the other one I left out. For me, that means over 20%. And we're falling, we're losing that as the markets. As the market's been deteriorating, they've been getting out. So we need short interest, loaded options chain, a catalyst, and buying pressure. You got to have 4 things. And I know everyone's wondering why how have they been covering? The short interest is going down. A declining market and no buying pressure is a perfect opportunity to sneak out slowly of your shorts.
Let go. Yep. Release, slow release.
They can slowly go in and buy every hour without affecting the price because no one else is buying. Everyone's scared. Everyone's out of money.
That's why the catalyst and the pounce are important, right? It's an important aspect of it. It's not everything, though. It's not. We were just saying earlier when me and Tony were talking, you know, it's really starting to become now where FOMO is becoming even a bigger factor than some other typical normal factors you would see market-wide in order to determine price action. That's just the way the market is adapting right now to retail and everything else. Now, I saw that Kiwi Girl said that JP Morgan halved on their earnings. That can't be right.
Did they what?
That they halved on their earnings? JP Morgan?
No, not halved. It missed by a couple cents. Let me pull it up. JP Morgan earnings.
Kramer tweeted.
They did miss because they had to set money aside. Earnings was $2.76 a share. The consensus estimate was $2.85. So they were off by 14 cents.
14-cent miss. Okay.
Now, a year ago, they were at 378, but all that matters is what was the estimate.
Right. Right. Yep. Biggins is some new DD. How's Bigham's been? Have you been talking to him at all? By the way, good evening to Ryan, Thomas, and Dan. Good.
Have I been talking to Bigham's? We talked about Hester Pierce.
Oh, that's right.
Did you see all that stuff going around?
Yeah.
There was someone made a video. I won't say his name, but his initials start with Trey. And he quoted a webpage that had an article on her saying that she was accused of fraud and sued by the SEC for $10 million. How could she have her job? How is this allowed? And a lot of people saw that video and the tweet and just started reposting it. Oh my God, how is this corruption allowed? And you know me, I question everything because I would have loved to do a video about Hester Pierce. I am not a fan of that lady. But I looked and looked and looked for hours and could not find anything. I couldn't even find her husband's name, which was mentioned in the article.
Wow. Okay.
She is scrubbed, man. I think even my friend Al up in your neck of the woods couldn't even find a parking ticket on her, is what he said. So
that means article got some serious pull.
The webpage that my friend made the video about saying that she was corrupt was actually a source of misinformation. There was no links, no independent verification of his report, not accessible anywhere else, anywhere on Google, just his article. And everybody ran with it and said she was sued. She bitched to the SEC, her own organization, about a $10 million fine on Poloniex, or however the hell you say that crypto firm's name. They got fined $10 million, but that had nothing to do with her. She just doesn't like heavy-handed regulation. We already know that, right? She hates regulation. That's why we hate her.
Right.
But this guy twisted it into she was personally fined $10 million for ripping people off. And I just couldn't find it. So Bigham's and I were talking about that. That was the extent of our chats this week.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Gladio said, hello, Tony. What's going on with Froggy Styles and why keep pushing on DRS? I like I did in the community cover this over a year ago. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. So Gladio, we just talked about that. I don't know, less than what, 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago in the stream. We went over some of the numbers and some of the things that we think, at least that we agree on. There's a couple things that me and Tony agree on. And we did discuss those. But as far as why anyone's pushing it, you know, I don't really have an issue with people trying or thinking that they're helping to direct someone, point them in the right direction. If they think it's going to be a big help, like I get all that. And I would never tell anyone what to do with their money, first and foremost. But do your research and look at it and weigh out your options and think what is going to be the best for you in this situation. If you think that DRS is going to be the best way for your shares to get to the price that you want, I say go for it. You know, don't let anyone stop you. All we're doing is giving you the options and some of the information.
Yeah, Froggy, I don't want to make this into a long drawn out thing, but he reached out to me probably over a month ago and asked me if I wanted to do some videos with him on DRS. And I said, I don't really believe in DRS because I'm not doing it myself. And I explained the reasons to him, and he's like, yeah, I get that. I'm worried about that myself. And if you go watch his videos from a month ago, you can hear him expressing concerns about, you know, DRS. I'm sure his knowledge of it has grown in the last 30 days, but I explained to him very clearly my position. I said, I support you doing it. And I've said that consistently for the last 6 weeks. And I also support anyone that doesn't want to do it. And I've told my audience that all along. You guys do whatever you want. Does it help take shares out of the hands of lenders? Absolutely, as far as I can tell, 100%. But I don't want to do DRS for myself because I want to sell at the microsecond and price of my choosing.
Yep.
And I don't want to be dealing with an entity where I got to fill out a 7-step form, and then if my limit order didn't go through, I got to figure out how to cancel it and then do all 7 steps again. I just, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. It's my personal choice. And I have nothing negative to say about anyone that wants to cover it. I will support them 100%. And anyone that doesn't want to support it, I support them 100% because I'm Switzerland on this. Somehow they keep on trying to drag me in it. And when I tell them very clearly my reasons why I don't want, I'm busy. I got my own shit. I got Scarlett. I got 3 businesses. You guys, you know how it is. And I got videos occasionally that I'm trying to get out to you. I don't have time to go into DRS. It's just not interesting to me. If it was interesting to me, I'd be all over it. But I already looked into it a year ago. So I say to the people that are interested, positive or negative, get together and you guys work it out because you're interested in it. Then you should be getting with people that agree with you or don't, and you guys cover it. And if you can do that in not an 8-hour live stream, if you can do it in a 10-minute video, I'd love to watch that, or a 30-minute debate. I'd love to watch that. I'm not going to wade through 8 hours of someone's live stream to find one comment they made that someone didn't like. I don't have time to do that.
Come on. It's lazy, Tony.
And the fact that I'm not willing to get involved in someone else's fight is making somebody mad. And I don't need my DMs blown up for 30 minutes straight no, I'm not going to say it. When you're wasting my time insulting me on DMs for 30 minutes, you're going to get blocked. I don't care who you are. I don't have time for drama.
And remember, guys, this whole DRS scenario is just specific to, at least in my case, to AMC. So that doesn't cover any other stocks. It is just my opinion and my choice right now that I'm not DRSing my AMC shares. And I want to make that clear. I'm specifically talking about AMC. Let's see. Oh, Dan Spencer said, there were 2 things. Did we get to the last question I put up for you? Yeah, we got that one. Dan says, how is the supply chain over in the US? Food on the shelves in the UK is getting very sparse. Food is getting, definitely, you can notice it now, way more than 6 months ago. When it was,
I know I went to Costco and they were out of Bang energy drinks, but everything else on the shelves were full.
Really? That's good. In Texas? That's good. Good. It doesn't look as good up here. The shelves are definitely hurting. The other day I went in, the first time ever, there was 1 gallon of chocolate milk. I'm like, I've never seen that before. Never. No small bottles, no quarts, no half gallons, nothing. No chocolate milk, period. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Let me get some people to say shout outs. 20 for the money. Let's see. Denaro, we got. I did see there's some new people in the chat. Peace, love. That's right. Z to the U. Boom, boom. Good evening, VT. Jose Rodriguez. William C. I saw Ryan Williams. Good evening, Ryan. Prometheus. Cassius. Broke Ape. Who am I missing? I got MC. Hector Figueroa. Good evening. Tech we love. Darren Jones. Trying to get everybody. I don't want to leave. Good.
I have seen some recent articles, and I think supply chain is still an issue here, right? But I'm not seeing it in my city. I'm not seeing like empty shelves of anything just yet. But I think there probably are still supply chain friction in the United States. What do you think? Yeah. I mean, from the headlines I've seen. In fact, there was one today, something about if the rail lines, if the train companies, whatever, don't fix their shit, there's going to be another round of problems in supply chain. I just saw the headline. I didn't read the article, but it's far from over. But I'm not seeing any direct problems with it personally. That just in my little bubble.
Yeah. Definitely since I started actually looking into it from March or April of this year, definitely it's a noticeable decrease in the amount of produce. They actually took out an entire section from the produce section. So there used to be about 4 sections when you walk into the market that had all different types of produce on it. But what they've done now is they've taken one of those centerpieces out, and they have consolidated everything onto 3 pieces, spread them out over the same square footage, and it still looks kind of full. But you can tell it by looking at the floor that they moved an entire section out. So it went from 4 of those huge bin center sections to 3 in just 3 months.
What I've been telling people, Mass, both in some lives and in the Discord, we've had some good conversations about it, is now is still a good time to go ahead and prep up 4 to 6 weeks of your basic essentials.
For sure.
Right? Between supply chain, rising prices, and New York playing atomic bomb videos, yeah. It just doesn't hurt to be prepared, guys. You don't want the week you run out of toilet paper to be the week that all the soccer moms panic on Facebook. I've lived through that twice in the last 2 years due to winter weather here in Texas. And one other time was due to the water treatment stations all being down here. You couldn't buy water within 15 miles of where I live.
Shit.
If you drove 16 miles, there was plenty at Walmart.
Really?
Yeah. But in town, forget about it. Wiped out. People were leaving the store with, 2 shopping carts full of cases of bottled water because they thought they'd never see water again. But if you just drove outside the city limits, it was like an oasis full of water.
Wow.
You don't want to get in front of people that are panicky. Go ahead and stock up on some stuff, things that aren't going to expire and that you're going to need anyways. You don't need to go crazy, but there's nothing wrong with being prepared.
Yep.
Just in case shit.
Getting ahead of shit. Yep. Getting ahead of it. Absolutely. That's the way I've been looking at it since the whole thing was brought up. Thomas B says, can I get your two's honest opinion on Leo the Line Trader? This is a question from Mass and Tony. I don't know how you feel about that, but I can go and just say, from everything I've seen from Lion Trader, he seems to be attempting to help the overall community of retail investors out there, especially people who are holding AMC in particular. This is just my personal opinion. That's all I'm saying here, Thomas. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary from him, or I haven't seen him get any involved with any drama. I got nothing bad to say about the guy, to be honest with you. I really just don't.
I don't have an opinion because I haven't really watched him, so I wouldn't know what to say.
There you go.
I've cut my watching. I'm not joking when I'm saying I'm busy. I've literally cut my watching of anybody down to almost an absolute minimum. Plus, you know, the amount of clickbait and, you know, one day someone makes a video saying the MOAS is guaranteed. And 6 hours later, they're making a video saying Gary Gensler is trying to stop the MOAS. Like you just said yesterday, it's guaranteed, bro. Like this stuff gets me so pissed off that I got to stop watching. And if you're feeling emotional and angry or confused and emotional, cut back watching nonsense channels. That I'm not saying Leo Lion Trader is nonsense. I honestly have not really watched him. I'm just saying I've had to cut back for a variety of reasons, busy and just my own sanity.
Yes, Steve. Absolutely. MC says you two were right about Redbox. You know what, man? It's just a matter of we call what we saw, and do I think it's a dead cat now? Someone's asking. J.A. MC, thanks, man. J.A. Yeah, we just talked about this earlier today. Me and Tony did. So I guess I can just divulge that. I don't need to check with you. I think so. I mean, I don't know what is the scenarios that I heard or the expectations are that possibly it could go still up to $20 again. I wish everyone luck with that who holds it. I really do.
All you got to do is look at the daily chart and the volume since June 18th. And any sort of technical analysis will tell you you've got declining prices on declining volume. Without some new catalyst, this is a very bad situation for Redbox. It was over on June 18th, as far as I'm concerned.
Touche.
And the other thing is, could it rise from the dead? Yes, we do see that sometimes if someone comes in and starts some massive buying pressure, but all of a sudden the volume can jump back up. Could that happen? Sure. But now the clock is ticking for this buyout from Chicken Soup. And when that happens, whatever shares you have of Redbox are going to be exchanged for Chicken Soup at the value of 45 cents on the dollar. Sorry, 45 cents per share. So if you're holding at $5 today or $4.50, whatever it's worth, if that merger were to happen just tomorrow, I mean, Monday, let's just say, it would immediately, your value that you'd get would be worth 45 cents. So you can hang on and hope that it gets a revival. Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller, but I can read charts. Maybe it will. Maybe someone will come in and reapply buying pressure. But if you keep on waiting and that miracle doesn't happen, you're going to get out of the play at 45 cents a share, whether you want to or not, when they give you your Chicken Soup shares.
Tony, you want to take any predictions from last week for next week? Real quick, though, I just want to mention
I've been saying mid to late July, the market's going to enter a paralysis mode as we build into the Fed interest rate hikes. I was thinking 0.75%, but now I'm seeing a lot of people, experts predicting maybe even a full percent. And whatever ends up happening, I don't know that it will necessarily crater the market. Right. A lot of people thought the CPI was going to crater the market, and that didn't really happen.
Barely a scratch.
Yeah. As long as expectations are met, I think we'll be okay. But people tend to slow down. People being Wall Street, big money, tend to slow down as we track into the Fed meeting. So I think we'll enter a little bit of a bearish cycle. On the flip side, for GameStop and by extension AMC, you got the GameStop stock split, and that is adding some bullish momentum independent of the Fed to GameStop. And if they get continued buying pressure and continued retail money coming into that and making shorts cover, who knows? AMC might come along to play on that, but I wouldn't bank on that. GameStop, it's more of a GameStop catalyst.
Or possibly we could see AMC blow away Q2 numbers, and maybe GameStop will take a ride on AMC for a while. Maybe we'll get more news during that little run. There's possibilities out there. Yeah, I'm not that unhopeful about this play still. I still have faith in this play.
I think that some hedge funds are probably a little bit concerned about the upcoming quarter numbers, although as I've been crunching numbers and looking at box office and stuff, I don't think we're still quite at the point, even though Q2 is fantastic. We really need about 3 billion. I'm upping my number. I was thinking we needed about 2.5. It really needs to be about 3.5, 3 to 3.3 billion to have a shot at a profitable quarter, and we're not quite there yet. But we'll get closer to zero, right? We'll still be negative, but not as bad as last quarter. So as long as the hedge funds see AMC's getting better and streaming services are doing worse, Netflix is having problems. Their short thesis is getting ruined. So maybe we'll see some more covering. Maybe we'll see AMC's been doing pretty well. I mean, they held their own the past 2 weeks pretty good. So hard to predict exactly what's going to happen in the stock. There's a lot of moving parts. But
how did we accrue another $500 million in debt?
What do you mean?
Where did we, because we had a number of 2.5 that they were looking for.
I think our debt's like 5 billion, isn't it?
Is it up? Is it at 5? Yeah.
I was looking at the raw box office numbers for the quarter.
Gotcha.
The last time we had a profitable quarter, they were like at 3.3 billion for the quarter.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. But we are still, either way, it doesn't, that's not even the biggest concern to me. The craziest thing is the movies are doing fine. As long as you are putting out a decent product, people are going to the movies. There's no doubt about that. We are seeing some of the best numbers for new releases over weekends. I mean, we've hit a lot of records post-pandemic. So the fact that this company can't be better than it was pre-2019 is not out of the stretch of reality. Hollywood 2322 says, I trust two people, Tony and Lion Trader, when it comes to AMC. Hollywood, thanks for the donation, man. Appreciate it. Now I'm gonna go all the way down, guys, because I'm so far behind in the chat. By the way, I saw Demainer was in here. The Trader, Benedict Arnold, watching Savannah Hernandez the other night. Said the Massalorian.
Someone is asking why they can't see all the chats. If you're watching on my live stream or Massalorians, you're only going to see chats from people that we have these channels joined together. So to see all the chats, watch on the screen. All the chats will be on the screen. They funnel to the screen, but you're only seeing chats from people on my channel. And Mass's people, if you're watching the chat on YouTube, in the chat window, you'll only see his chats. You got to look on the screen to see all of them.
Yeah. It should be up for you guys now. I hope so. According to my end, it looks like it is.
Someone, there were a couple other questions I was going to try and get to real quick. Timely issues of this week. FTDs was a big deal today. And coincidentally, I put out a tweet and a post about FTDs a couple days ago. Can you put up my other screen?
I can. Opinionated Assholes, what's up, my man?
This is what got everybody excited today, because there was one day on June 28th that we had 9.6 million failures to deliver. And the tweet that I put up a few days ago, and also the post in the community tab said what people fail to do is see this little footnote number 8 right here, Mass.
Yes.
They never read that. They just think, I saw a guy on Twitter like drawing a box around all these. Oh my God, we had 30 million FTDs that they got to cover for the month of June. Doesn't work that way, guys.
He knows about resets, right?
1.9 was the FTDs for end of June, 1.9 million. If you go down and read footnote 8, and I will, every day is an update from the previous day. So between the 628 and 629, they covered 7 million shares of failures to deliver. If you don't believe me, this is on chartexchange.com. I'll drop it in the chat. Oops. Here we go. Let me drop this in the chat real quick. Chartexchange.com. Footnote number 8, fails to deliver are cumulative of all fails outstanding until that day, plus new fails that occur that day, minus fails that settled. So you never add these up. Each day is the new number representative of the total FTDs. So I don't really care that one day was 9 million, because by the next day it was 2.8 and the next day it was 1.9. I'll tell you 2 other reasons I don't care. And I'm going to get to all your, but Tony, but I'll get to that in a second. I know what you're going to say. In June, before our run up, June 2021, look how low the FTDs were. 1.7, 174,000. I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah.
In June.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Failures to deliver were not even a factor when we ran up to 72. So I have a hard time getting excited about it. This was actually more exciting at the end of June, 3 to 4 million a day.
Yeah.
What happened?
That was getting juicy. Yeah.
What happened in July? Nothing. We fell.
I know. Yep.
So you wonder why I don't get excited about it? Because of data. I don't pick one day and get excited about it on June 28th, 2022. The other thing I saw people say, 9 million was the highest FTDs ever on AMC. People have short memories. January, 27 million. January 2021, 13 million, 11.5 million. So that's also not correct. It's not the highest that we've ever had. And we ran up from $4 to $19. This gets me excited. 27 million. If I saw that, or if I saw multiple days in a row of growing FTDs, I'd be excited. Yeah. You can see what happened here on the price, 496 to 1990. That's juicy. 9 million that covered to 2 million the next day. What happened? What happened in June on June 28th? Nothing. Last month. So sorry to be the bearer of facts. And then I know everyone's going to say, but they're just rebooting them and hiding them and burying them on deep in the money calls in the dark pool. Yes, there could be ways that they're hiding and rebooting and sham closeouts. I've read all the documents. I get it. 100% possible. Yes.
For sure. For sure. Lupe, good evening. How you doing tonight, my friend? JA33. Miss Gloria, good evening. Nana Ape, how you doing tonight? Grandpa Bonnie, I saw in here. Doomed, good evening tonight. Hector, Apes Blazing, Barrett. I know I missed a bunch of people, guys, and if I missed your name, I apologize. I try to get as many as possible. Just to let you know that the love is flowing. Fahad, good evening. I saw Old Doge was in here. Razor, good evening. Wife's boyfriend. All right, I think I'm caught up. Dev Patel. Good evening. Good evening. I missed you too, man. Yeah, I missed you guys. I was excited to get back up to the studio so I could get on here and record. I mean, me and Tony talked about doing some recordings while I was away, but I just didn't feel like trying to do a live stream with the phone was going to be professional. I could be cutting in and out. There's an echo right now. There's a bunch of reasons why it just wouldn't have worked. So I was excited to get back and get on here. I'm going to try to get as much done tonight before I leave in the morning as I can. But thank you,
Massalorian.
Yeah.
Jesse keeps on asking, did Melvin cover their shorts? You want to knock that one out real quick? Because we always, this question always comes up.
Yeah. Which shorts are we speaking about?
Did Melvin cover their shorts?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Why not?
I didn't see
Why can't you tell me? But I was told on YouTube that they have a bunch of shorts.
Oh, really? That what you heard? You heard that through the grapevine? Yeah, we don't know. We have no idea how many they possibly have, if they have any.
Why?
So to answer that question,
what do you mean you don't know?
It's non-reported. It's a non-reported thing. What?
What do you mean it's not reported? But I heard on YouTube that they had a bunch of shorts.
I don't know. Who said that? Who told you that? I want the names. Give me the names.
They did get burned with a wrong side of the trade on GameStop last year.
We knew about that.
That is a fact. But shorts are not reported, guys. No one who said anything about Melvin Capital has any clue what their short position was in May or June of 2022, because no one is required to report shorts. So anyone who told you that was just guessing. So we can't answer that because we don't know what their short position was. And I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass.
Yeah. Yep. You know what I got to say real quick before it leaves my mind? I just want to say, I think that a lot of the younger YouTubers out there are definitely picking up now a lot of some of the things they may have not been privy to, as far as the corrupt people who are supposedly supposed to be regulating the market right now. And that's really encouraging to me to see that younger generation now catching on to these facts and being like, wow, we really, we, the people, need to be able to make changes to this market. So I was thinking about that earlier, and I'm like, man, that's really encouraging that some of these younger YouTubers, like, I consider us on the older side compared to some of these other guys because they're really young. But I'm glad that they're catching on. That's really encouraging. Really happy about that.
Do you want to give a shout out to anyone that's catching on? Because I'm still seeing a lot of nonsense on maybe because I'm looking at all the ones who've been covering it for the last year and a half. They have not changed.
I would say, like, it seems like Wrench maybe is trying to kind of tell people how it really goes on Wall Street, and how, DC and Wall Street are kind of operating in tandem with each other. And that retail is just a small part of that. I think Trey's picking up. I mean, ever since, it seems like he's a little more jaded, I think, before than when he left the military. I could be wrong about that. Just something I've noticed in his titles of his videos. Ever since he left, seems like he's been more to be like, I'm not really happy about the situation right now. Maybe the administration, or having to go to fight a proxy war for these clowns. So I that's encouraging to me. Jason, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Trigger, good evening. I'm going to say hey to some people. Jason, good evening. Do I miss anybody? I'm professional. Vin Cool, good evening. Okay. I miss anybody? Okay. Harold, I got Just Another Ape, 1796 Patriot. Oh, your boyfriend's here. Eric Bissell.
Eric, what's going on, buddy?
All right.
Let's talk about GameStop for a second, because I know not everybody wanted to watch a 2-hour live stream that I did last week. Maybe it's time to do a 5-minute update on the stock split. DD, what my thoughts are different than, I guess, basically 99% of everybody except for Dave Lauer is the only one who's come to the same conclusion as me.
You have a graphic? Yeah, huh? Do you have a graphic?
I don't have a graphic. Nope.
Okay. Let me see.
But I can speak graphically.
Go for it.
So I did a post on July 6th saying that and again, I'm going to start this off by saying, if I am wrong, I will make a apology video and explain where I went wrong. Okay. I'm not saying I'm 100% correct. There's a chance I got this wrong, but I spent, 3 full days, like 60 hours looking into this and reaching out to multiple sources, not just reading Reddit, not just reading web pages, but actually talking to people who've been through this and who already have it set up in their system for the split. I'm not just repeating what I read on Reddit. And my due diligence disagrees with everybody else that's been saying this for the last year, that when this stock split dividend happens, I know that the narrative is that the shorts are going to need to go buy 3 shares for everyone they are short. I get it 100% why anyone would come to that conclusion because of the word dividend, right? I'm not going to debate that. What I'm going to tell you is every bit of due diligence that I have done, including checking with multiple brokers and other companies that did a stock split dividend, their investor relations departments, is that this will act exactly like a stock split. Independent of me posting that, 2 days later, Dave Lauer posted the exact same thing, that this will act like a stock split. And the shorts will be in the exact same financial position after the stock split dividend as they were before. Now, you can like that or hate it. You can believe it or not believe it. If I'm wrong, I will make a video about it. I can probably guess that if everybody else is wrong, not one of them will talk about it. They're just going to say it's corruption. I'll put the challenge down to anybody else who has a different opinion. If you are wrong, will you make a video about it? I'm happy to. I just want to get the facts out to you guys. And if it doesn't run up to $10,000 because they have to cover 10 billion synthetic shares that weren't handed to them by ComputerShare, if you don't see that happen, I want you to remember this conversation tonight so you don't freak out. That's all. There is plenty of reason that the stock could run up because of retail getting excited and driving the price up. And it'll drive up 4 times faster after the split because people are buying it for $30 a share, right? And that still is bad for the shorts. But if you don't see it rocket into space, I want you to remember this conversation. That's all. And if you want a longer explanation with accounting and a CPA and all of that, go watch my video I did a week ago. And it's the good stuff starts around 30 minutes in with the CPA. And thank you to Sufyan for taking his time out to come help us understand the accounting differences between a stock split and a stock split dividend.
Yeah, GameStop never got back to you, huh?
Still waiting, but I did hear from other companies that did a stock split dividend.
It's interesting who answers you and who doesn't.
Well, I'm sure GameStop is being bombarded right now with this. You know, that's why I said, let me find 6 other companies that have done this in the last year and a half and see what their stock. Let's see what their stock price did. Let's see what their short interest did. And let's see if any of them will answer me because they're not as busy. That's how I do my research, exhaustive. And maybe I'll still be all washed up. That's fine. I'd prefer it go to $10,000 a share, right? I hold GameStop. I'd love to be wrong. Please, God. But if I'm not wrong, just remember this conversation. That's all.
Just don't bet heavy on it. Dips, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Is GME split at market open or after hours? Good question. Do you know the answer to that, T?
It will be the 26th. I'll have to pull up the website to make sure I don't tell you the wrong date, but I think it's the morning of the 26th. When you wake up, it'll be split. Are you pulling it up?
So, no, I can no. So by the time pre-market 4:30 rolls around,
I got so many dates.
New float.
I think I'm thinking of Mullen is on the 26th. Mullen shareholder meeting. GameStop's before that. Too many tickers, too many dates.
I know, seriously, it gets overwhelming. Let me see.
Tony got it wrong. He said the wrong date. Okay. It will be distributed
18th.
after the close of trading on the 21st. Trading will begin on the split adjusted basis on the 22nd.
Yep.
So that is the morning of next Friday when we wake up. The price will be divided by 4. And
a week from today.
You know, I was looking at the Ortex. It hasn't really dropped a whole lot in the last week since they announced the split. You would think if the shorts were facing billions of dollars of extra liability, they'd be running for the doors to get out.
Yeah,
I would if I was them. And
yep, we
not
talked
really
about
seeing
this.
the short interest go down that much.
Yeah, yep, that's a little. Well, it's interesting.
Wired Ape says, has anyone answered my par value? I thought I answered to your satisfaction. In a stock split, there's no accounting difference for the company. They make a note that the stock split and they adjust the par value. In a stock split dividend, the par value is not adjusted, but instead of doing that, par value stays the same, but they make an accounting entry to debit retained earnings and credit common stock distributables.
Okay.
That is the difference between these two. So I still don't have the why. That is the key question that I'm waiting. I'd really love. I asked that specifically to GameStop. Can you tell me the why? What is the benefit to the company to choose stock split dividend over stock split? Because I think it's some benefit to them. I don't know the answer to that. And the people that can answer that are the only ones who have not called me back, including I did reach out to a corporate tax specialist, but I'm in the loop of how would you like to become a customer today? You know, they're trying to, instead of answering my question, they're trying to see if they can
trying to get you to open an account. Yeah. Yeah.
It's irritating me. So I'll see if I can take a deep breath and call them back on Monday.
With a clean head, with a clear head.
Can you answer this questionnaire for us? Can I ask you 10 questions? And what's your email and what's your website?
Yeah.
They're qualifying me. They're trying to line me up as a customer. They're not. I just got one question. Why would a company
demographics?
Why would a company do a stock split dividend? What's the benefit to them over a regular stock split? I know one. I know a couple of answers.
Yeah, I always thought the assumption was that it helped out retail as far as the taxes.
Yeah. I know those answers, but I don't think they're that generous. I think there's some other answer. I know all the ones you're thinking of, like
there's a couple, right?
One, but there's a reason they put the word dividend on the end. Yes. Was it to trick retail? Was it better for them tax wise? There's a reason, and I don't have it yet, but I will. As soon as I have it, I will let you know. I'm not giving up on that. Even if it takes till after this, I will not give up.
Nope. Eric says, Tony and Mass, talk about the crazy candle on GME from Thursday. So we talked about this.
The crime candle?
The crime candle, yeah.
You want to pull it up? Do you have a chart?
Yeah, for AMC? Yeah. GME, yeah. Let me just do a screen share. Hopefully we don't slow down the stream. Okay, hang on one sec. Chrome tab. Okay. Whoa. What's going on with the mouse? Easy. Okay. So what was it? Thursday we said, right? And let me change the display on this.
Yeah, there was a big crime candle that day.
Yeah. Right here. This is it, right? I believe.
Do you have after hours on there?
Yeah. Yep. Let me see. Where do we drop here? Yeah, this should be it right here, right? We came real close.
Put that screen above us and a little bit bigger because it's kind of hard to see.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that better? Okay. Do you need me to blow it up a little more? Or?
I'm trying to find where the after hours is. Can you point at it with your mouse?
Yeah, I think. Oh, maybe it this doesn't track after hours on CMC. Do you want me to open one of my brokerage apps?
I have it if you want to put my screen up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just throw the screen up. Yeah. I can't open. I don't think I can open one more damn thing here. I can't believe it. My computer hasn't blown up. I have so many things open right now. Hang on. Okay, there we go. You got the.
Unfortunately, my answer is going to be I don't know what's causing these. Again, in terms of things that I have time to look into, this is not high on my list. I know KC was checking into it, and I'm hoping that someone comes up with an answer. This was the one on the 14th. It ranged from 1496 to 1586. And I've been noticing, I have been checking that it's not always on GameStop anymore, and it's not always on the SPY. Remember, it used to be very consistently on a bunch of tickers. Here's the one today, 1488 to 1564. But the volume is so small. The volume on this was 326 shares. For that reason, it does not interest me. But out of curiosity, it does interest me. The volume on Thursday for this one candle was 217 shares. I did send Dave Lauer a note weeks ago. No answer. Seeing, he's the guy that could answer that real quick. But
he's the guy you would want.
He's busy with other stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a lot on his plate right now, right? But it would be nice if we could get a response.
Wired Ape says he thinks it will 4x their valuation. Wired Ape, I've checked, rechecked, and triple checked stock split and stock split dividend. Neither one affects a company valuation at all.
Definitely not. That's 100% fact. Will not see any reflection. NDN8SHN says, great show as always, guys. Will AMC ever hit 20s again? Bag holder here at 28. Thanks, guys. I'm with you on that, ND. I'm bag holding at 28 too. I mean, not all my shares, but I bought shares at that price and higher. So don't feel bad. Do I believe AMC can go back to $20 again? Yeah. In the very near future, we could see that.
Wired Ape, you're not proving me wrong. You need to send evidence to prove an accountant wrong, because I'm not saying this from. I mean, I can read it, but I checked with CPAs. No form of stock split changes the valuation of the company. Not a stock split, not a stock split dividend. Now, maybe we're talking different definition for valuation, but this is not me telling you the answer. This is you can find this answer on the internet, but I also asked the question multiple times just for you to a CPA.
Yeah.
So you need to
Wanted to
provide
make
evidence
sure we had
that
the correct information.
You'll need to provide evidence that will prove to an accountant that generally accepted accounting principles, the GAAP, are incorrect.
Yep. And Tony went out of his way to triple check this information to make sure it was correct. Grandpa Barney, thanks, man. Love you. He says, hey, you two know if Gasmouth Gasparino lost his job. Did Charlie get fired?
He was trolling.
Oh, damn it. Someone said earlier Charles Payne is the man, and I agree with that 100%. I love Big Charles. Just got
Charles
home
Gasparino.
Love and Thunder at AMC. Nice, King of North. Tony just saw Love and Thunder too. He said he liked it.
Wired Ape says, I have tweeted sources. If you DM it to me, I don't spend time on Twitter because it's just mostly nonsense on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter a whole lot, but I do read my DMs. So feel free to send it to me. I'd be happy to look at it.
Yeah,
single inverse ETFs. Oh yeah, we wanted to talk about that tonight. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, we could talk about a little bit. Pull up a couple things.
MC, thank you, friend.
I try to
light. Oh, no. Lamp on, lamp off.
So we discussed it earlier, right? We talked about this. And I think basically we came to the assumption that this is another way. Well, a couple things. First of all, this was a loophole that they are using right now that's kind of being exposed, but it's too late for anything to be done about it. And it seems like this kind of just how would you describe it as something falling through the cracks, T? Basically,
that is what I read back however many months or a year ago when they approved the Index 3X ETFs. There was a gray area that has been exploited for these single stock ETFs.
Yes. And just adding to that, I would say that this is going to affect mostly any type of swing trading or scalping. It's definitely something I think goes against the interest of retail. I'll put it that way. As far as anyone's involvement in it, in the fraud, did you touch on that earlier in the video, didn't you, Tony? About the Hester there?
Yeah,
that was part of that, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay.
What? No, I don't. There were several people on the SEC that were not in favor of these. Oh,
there were
these leverage ETFs, but they couldn't really do anything about it because they had already approved it for the indexes, and the Wall Street exploited the loophole.
Yep.
If you can believe what I read, I'm just repeating what I read. I'm happy to be proven wrong.
That's what I found too. Yeah, that's I'm not a fan of it, that's for sure. But right now, there's nothing they can do about it. That's just something they're going to exploit right now.
There are a couple tweets I put out about these, and I actually learned from folks in my Discord. There's been people that have been buying these bullish 2 or 3x ETFs and writing them down and dollar cost averaging as they fall. Like I think one guy had the chip makers, the semiconductors. And I want, if you guys are doing that, I want you to read up on these leveraged ETFs. They're designed for professional traders. They're not designed to be held overnight because most of them have a daily reset where
yes,
it's a lengthy explanation to go into, but I tweeted the link out so you can read it with examples. But you're losing, first of all, you're losing money 3 times faster than if you had just bought the stock when it's going down. But every day they reset the fund. So even if it went up by the same amount the next day, you're still losing money. You're not going to get whole if it goes up by the same amount the next day because of the reset. So go understand what a daily reset is. And I think they're doing all of this just to steal money from retail who think they're going to get a knock it out of the park gain. And if you're right, you absolutely will. Right?
If you hold too long, you absolutely won't.
If you bet the right direction and it hits that day, or it hits over and over, you will absolutely kill it. You'll make money. But they're counting on the vast majority of people not making money. And they make their money, the fund, off of transactions. So they want you to churn through those.
Yep. And there'll be YouTubers out there who will be pushing individual stocks, I guarantee, on a daily basis or weekly basis, trying to manipulate price action. And there will be winners and losers. There will be people who will get out in time and not get greedy. There will be some people who believe whatever they hear on the internet, and that this is going, it's going to 3 times itself multiple times in a month. And it's just, that's not a normal thing. And I understand the market's very volatile right now. Another thing that me and Tony talked about earlier and just mentioned was, the SEC, and this is, I guess, I don't know that Tony really backed up this claim that I made, but just from the GameStop report, some of the things and just the language the SEC was using as far as volatility halts, and I think saying that, or allowing them to have a lot more freedom to call for halts that you typically would not see because of the influence of the retail investor. So I would just take that. I would read that for the way it's written, that just like they did in the London Metals Exchange and some other occasions that we've seen, don't expect them to stop with the fuckery now. Until they're going to be held accountable for any of this, there's no need for them to stop. CSI, good evening, my friend.
What's up, CSI?
Real quick to you. Yeah, I just want to say hey to some people. Carl Keller, Wired Ape, good evening, Mexican Silverback. Eric, we got, and then Ape, we got. George 77.
I want to time out for Silverback sucked on a Tuesday. We just talked about FTDs. There's unfortunately a lot of misinformation. If you just scroll back in the video about 10 minutes and look for the FTD charts and listen to that 5-minute discussion, you can get caught up. I know it's all over Twitter. It's in my humble opinion, hate it or love it. I know most of you hate it. It's people are just missing the ball with this one. They're getting excited about nothing because they want something to be excited about. It'll make more sense if you scroll back in the video 10 minutes and look for that FTD chart.
Yep. Real quick, someone said, Demainer said $20 is around fair market value. Great point, Demainer. For whoever was asking about we see 20 again, I forget. I apologize who that was, but great point.
Carl's asking, the shorts will have to pay the dividend for the shorted shares. That is the question, right? That's what everybody thinks. And I guess we'll find out on the 21st. But my due diligence and Dave Lauer's due diligence is no, they will not. Everybody else in the universe, yes, I understand why they're saying it, because the word dividend is in there.
Right. And typically that would ensue that you would have to do that. But because this isn't a traditional dividend, that's not going to be the case in this situation, from what we can tell. Or at least
from what we have told, which I don't get my due diligence from Reddit or Google. I actually checked with legit sources. But Tony, you can't trust what Wall Street tells you. Okay, guys. And don't ask the questions if you don't want to hear the answers. This is one viewpoint. And Dave Lauer came to independently the exact same conclusion 2 days after I published my findings. So it is what it is, and we'll find out in 7 days.
Wired Ape said he tweeted sources. They must be in your DM, Tony.
Yeah, I asked him to DM because I don't really spend time on Twitter.
MC, much love, man. Much love. Thank you, my brother. Liz Claiming, good evening, girl. How you doing tonight? CSI, we said hey too. CSI, how you been, man? 24 the money. Liz, how are you feeling, by the way? I'm trying to catch up on the chat real quick. I'm way behind again. Oh, boy. Jesus. Oh, my God. I'm so far. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to try to catch up, and then we'll run through again.
Carl Keller says, I thought the borrow of shares paid the dividend. In a traditional dividend, Carl, 100% correct. If you have a cash dividend, if you're short, you're going to owe that to the lender. And if it's a stock dividend, depending on how the lending agreement is written up, and it varies by broker to broker, but typically if it was a stock dividend, let's say this is not as common as a cash dividend, but let's just say a company says we're going to give you 10% stock dividend. So if you have 100 shares of AMC, you would wake up and have 10 extra shares as a stock dividend. In that case, do you know what most of the lending agreements do? They add the value of that stock dividend to the lending agreement, and you got to pay it back when you cover. You don't got to pay it back on Friday morning. And I've seen the lending agreements, and I've also confirmed that with Wall Street people, and they said it can vary depending on the lender, but that is the traditional way that it's done. However, those same people told me that this stock split dividend is not that. So again, I did not work on Wall Street. I just do research, and I'm telling you what multiple sources told me is that this will act as a regular stock split. We'll find out in 7 days. I'm just sharing info.
And remember, guys, anywhere you go to look up that information is going to tell you the same thing, right? It's going to tell you that
you cannot find info on stock split dividend. It doesn't exist. You can find a gajillion web pages on what does a dividend do. And they all clearly say that as a borrower, you'll owe the cash amount. No argument for me on that. Zero. What I'm saying is I was told by multiple sources that won't be the case for a stock split dividend. We'll find out. We'll find out. I hope I'm wrong, honestly. I'd love to see it shoot up, because they're just going to sit here and wait for a train to hit them and have billions of dollars of liability hit them next Friday. They're just going to wait for that train. I'd love it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I hope they do.
I hope so too. I hope we're dead wrong about this. I hope that we get the floor wipe heads, but I just haven't found anything to corroborate that info yet. That will not add any inherent value to their holdings. Retail investors, more affordable, lower price. Yeah. Yeah, there's just...
So is Bigum's in the chat? Oh, there he is. Yeah, someone said check out Bigum's latest video. What's up, my friend? I see that he did one. I see his latest video is something on ISDA. And guys, that is not my area of expertise. That is his. So if you, I do recommend his channel. He covers a lot of different content than me. And he does so many man hours of looking into that stuff. I could not even do it justice, even to talk about it. That's why from time to time we've had him on here to share info. But if you want to learn about that stuff, go to his channel. There's no way I could cover it. There's no way I could cover it to the degree that he does.
That in depth. Nope. Forget it. It would take years to gather that type of knowledge. That's what Bigums has been doing for the last couple of years, gathering all that knowledge. So
thank you for all your hard work, Bigums. We love you.
Yes, sir. Much appreciated. So will this expose naked shorts, Kenny? No. No, according to the information and the description of this split, this dividend split, no. It should not. It will not. If we have the correct definition. Jesse said, keep doing what you do for all the new investors. Thank you, Jesse. Still loading up on GME. Grandpa Barney. I'm trying to think. Right now, just seeing it get rejected where it did, I think this stock is gonna. I don't know. Did we talk about this earlier about GME? Yeah, we did, right? We said that it looked pretty set up, pretty simple for rejection at 149, wherever it kicked back today, right? And it came right back down, right?
Oh yeah, when it ran up to 150.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, as a technical trader, when I saw that, I was like, should I? You know, have not sold my AMC shares, but I don't have near as many GameStop, and I am worried about the market correcting next week. So I was like, should I sell at 150 and then buy back at 120? And that's what I was thinking when it hit 150, 151 for that 10 or 15 minute period. And I was like, no, but there's a lot of retail that really want this thing to squeeze, and they believe it. And we need that FOMO, and we'll probably get it prior to the squeeze. And as I was having that debate with myself, so I just, you know, I didn't sell anything. I held on to all my shares. It was over before I could make up my mind. But the other thing I was telling myself is I think that before the squeeze, it could easily get up to 180 to 200 prior to the squeeze, and then split 4 ways and then keep running. So I don't feel bad about holding, but I was sitting there watching it thinking that. So I know everybody else that really day trades and swing trades was thinking it. Like, I'm just a small brain day trader.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was thinking it and looking at the candles and the moving averages, everybody else saw the same thing I did, and they all pulled the plug. That's what happened.
You said to me, pull the chart up and look at it. Tell me what you think's what happened. I'm like, oh yeah.
You know, I don't want to shout out Review Dork, but put up the 1348 EMA. The crossover happened right at that moment, guys. It's plain as day that it was going to go down.
Like clockwork. Yep.
That is all that happened. It was a technical sell-off. Totally predictable.
Yep. And I bet you some retail sold. That looked like a juicy price. Maybe.
I think it was day traders. I mean, look, the run up is gone from
that's what I mean. That's what I meant by that. Yeah, that's what I meant by that. Not long-term holders. I meant,
but yeah, it'll come back up next week. There's a lot of people, and even if it doesn't, it'll come up after the squeeze. I have little doubt about after the split. There's plenty of people that are excited about this stock split. There's zero doubt in my mind that this will be a bullish event, the stock split, before and after the run up.
They got just as big of a good, strong community and creators and all that kind of stuff, just like we do over here at AMC. No doubt about it. Those guys will be, they'll be on the ball with everything. Like, you know, honestly, as we lead up closer to that, I'm going to be watching more GME creators just to try to get an idea of what we're going to see, which way this is going to move, and how high possibly can we go. I think I agree with Tony. When we talked earlier and said there's a good possibility this could definitely see 180, 200 again before any type of, you know, triggered squeeze. Just to get back to that technical level, I don't think that's a big deal at all. NJ says, won't it cause FOMO? When day traders get out, they have to lay the dividend difference. Won't it cause FOMO when the day traders get out? They have to lay the dividend difference. Well, on that one day?
This is everyone thinking that if you're short, you're going to have to come up with the difference. That is the key question, right? That is the whole debate. And I've been having offline conversations with other content creators. I read all the web pages. I totally get what you're saying. I understand the question. I understand the reason people think that. What I'm telling you is my sources on Wall Street and Dave Lauer's, independent of me, have said otherwise. So we'll find out in 7 days who is right.
Yep. Absolutely. 420 timestamp for Bigum, says Smart Boy. Opinionated Asshole says 150. I bounced off 150, but puts in GME. There you go. Make that money away.
I should have done it, but I don't feel bad. I know that I feel in my heart GME is going to probably either pre or post split surpass $200. So either 200 before the split or over $50 after the split. So I'm good. I'm looking for a chance to buy more GameStop if we get a dip next week.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this new direction for everything going, hopefully like saying around August 1st to start the new channel and everything. And, the more I think about it, the more people are saying here about making money. And I think I've neglected that a lot in the last 7 to 8 months, just because of the overall sentiment in the market and all of this bad news that we've had. But there have been individual runners in here and there. And even on AMC and GME, you could have played some numbers here and there. And here's the thing. I get that everyone is talking about buying and holding, and I haven't day traded any GME or AMC or even bought contracts on any of them. But I think with this new having a little more time on my hands, I'm going to start trying to look into more stocks and try to predict some of the ways that news around the market and certain situations and catalysts are going to cause price action to go one way or the other. So I'm grateful for that. Hopefully I'll be able to free up some extra time, and between me and you having, let's say, like an 8-hour day or whatever, the entire day, we can talk about more types of plays like that. Just putting in small amounts of money to make small increments of profit, right? If you can consistently do that and stay profitable, well, you're well on your way to becoming a good trader. Feek, thank you, brother. He says, review dork didn't invent 1348. Let's keep it a buck. Definitely, Feek, for sure. Yeah, I don't think anyone was saying that, but yeah, I mean, it came. I mean, literally right up to it, right? The 1348,
yeah,
right?
We know he didn't invent it. I tell anyone who's paying for that, you're wasting your money. You can literally go on any trading platform and put in your 13 and 48 EMA and do that on any ticker yourself. You don't need to pay someone to do that. But I mean, I mentioned him because everybody knows him for that. And I've been doing testing and back testing of it because it's not one that I traditionally use. But everyone always asks me about it, so I've been doing some testing on it. It freaking lined up on that GME drop.
Diaz, thank you, man. John Curtis says, Tony, what do you think the pounce by AA will be? Any thoughts?
I think he's going to move popcorn from the grocery stores from December to August. Cue the laugh track, Massalorian.
I gotta set that stream deck up. I'm excited about that too. Sound effects. We'll get them going one day.
I don't know, guys. We have a couple of ideas. My favorite one. This is completely like tinfoil hat time, right? We're just spitballing ideas. Check out the channel Just Another Ape for a couple of really good videos on what we think Adam Aaron's pounce might be. And we think it could be a partnership with Paramount, because this court case that has been regulating the movie industry for the last 4 or 5 decades is about to sunset on August 7th and allow a whole new era. Well, hearkening back to the 1930s, the way they used to do it. There's going to be a lot of changes in the movie industry after August 7th. And we talked about this on the last live stream that I did. Did I talk to you about that? Go watch Just Another Ape. I don't want to steal all the hard work he's put into it. He's in my Discord, and this has been his baby, and I've been kind of like consulting with him on it. I do want to do a video on it, but he's already got the videos out there. And I don't know if it will happen. He doesn't either. It's just our favorite leading theory. And coincidentally, Paramount's earnings are the exact same day as AMC, August 4th. And then this ruling sunsets on August 7th. So could they have an announcement about a partnership? Maybe so. Maybe not. We'll find out.
Those are the 2 dates, right? Yeah, 4th and 7th.
Yeah, both companies release earnings on the 4th, and the 7th, they are free to make changes. So that would be the most exciting thing. Crypto coin, that excited me last year, but in the current crypto market, not too excited about it. Even if he did announce it, I'd be happy if AMC announced a crypto coin, but it would not have a monumental immediate short-term effect for AMC right now in this
not in a crypto
environment.
No.
And the other thing we kind of theorize is maybe a profitable quarter, but the more I look at all the financials and the numbers going back to 2018, I don't think we're quite there yet with the box office numbers from Q2. So that was one of my other leading theories, but that is a very long shot still. I don't think we're quite there. If it's not something really juicy, like a profitable quarter or a partnership, I feel like I'm going to be disappointed with Adam's definition of a pounce.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. Just Another Ape, man. Appreciate you. Let me see here. I did have something I wanted to pull up. Damn it. Hate that.
They want to know.
Oh, right here. James South.
Go
this
ahead.
Question here. Says, so Tony, you indicated simply holding won't make a difference. If that's the case, then why not have the majority day trade this if holding doesn't provide an impact?
That's a good question.
Why haven't we been day trading this the whole time?
He's saying like if we hold 90% of the float that is not held by institutions, qualifying statement. So if institutions hold, let's just say 30%, and we hold 90% of the difference, why, what would happen if we day traded that? Well, the stock would be a lot more liquid. You might actually, this is a problem right now. There's very little liquidity, I think. I don't have the numbers to back this up, so I'm gonna add a qualifier to that.
You would assume.
But I've even heard Martin Shkreli call AMC a mostly illiquid stock. But if there's only, I use this example sometimes of if there were only 50 million shares on any given day trading 10% of the float, those 50 million shares could flip 4 times in the same day.
Like nobody's business.
Yep. Because of day traders and high frequency traders. So if that is the case, and most of them are selling or they're hitting, you got the ask and the bid. If they're all hitting the bottom of the spread, that's going to drive the price down. You need people coming in and hitting the ask over and over and over.
Right. To drive that price back up. Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, James. I need to think about it. I don't know if I could. It's a great question. I don't know if I could just answer it off the cuff and get it right.
Yep. Agreed.
But if you're sitting, I do think that if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're just a participant. And the ones that are actively, you're an observer. The ones that are actively participating in buying and selling are the ones setting the price every day. And if apes aren't buying, then the sellers and the hedge funds are going to decide the direction, or institutions or
someone will take the wheel.
Yeah.
Yep. Doug in real life said merge with GME and or Paramount or Netflix. I think GME AMC is out of the question. The only thing I would say about that, and it would probably so complicated, and this is probably crazy just in my own head, but I was always thinking about, could you do some type of AMC GME crypto? But again, with the crypto winter, I don't see it being a huge market driver right now or price driver. Can
you put up New Miga's question?
Sure.
We're gonna discuss your question, James, and try and address it in an upcoming live. On GME split, won't people like myself who can't afford the current price buy in and raise the valuation by raise the stock price, not the value? Well, the market cap, right? There's the valuation
of the company itself. Right. Then you have your market cap. There's a couple.
There's all sorts of definitions, but yes, people coming in and buying after the stock split can raise the stock price and the market cap 100%. And I think that will happen. People will be excited by the stock split and excited to go buy some shares cheaper
at a cheaper price.
Although you could argue that you could buy it with fractional shares right now, but you know, that's a wishy-washy argument. I've heard people say that. Martin Shkreli, it's not really going to do anything because they could already buy fractionals. Well, not everybody's on a broker that offers fractional shares.
Right.
People will be excited and buy GameStop at 30, 40, 50, whatever it is after the split. Yes, this 100% could drive the price up after the split and apply pressure to the shorts. I'm on board. I've said that. And that is a great scenario to be in if you're long on the stock.
Yes. Yep. Is it going to cost a short squeeze?
Well, that depends on how many buyers come in.
That and how are they defining this split dividend, right? Are they defining it the way me and Tony are assuming that they are? And based off that definition, how this plays out? Or is there something that we're missing in all these guys, professionals that Tony talked to, are somehow way off, but they all seem to come to the same conclusion? Only
Adrian says, I hope you guys are aware of the fact that Ryan Cohen is not the CEO of GameStop. Yeah, we had a live stream faux pas a couple weeks ago where I think we both said that. We are aware he's not the CEO.
Yes, we did. New Mega, by the way, thank you for all the chats from the last
There'll be mistakes from time to time in a live stream, guys.
Yeah, there's a million things going on. Don't be surprised if there's many mistakes. And if you hear one, bring it to our attention. But yeah, New Mega, thank you very much, man, from the last live stream. I know you sent a couple of super chats at the end, and it's been like 9 days since I've been on. So thank you. I didn't forget. Drops Family says, a day trade on a stock split and sell quickly and then buy the dip. If it does take a dip, yeah, just hope it doesn't run, right, Drops? AMC acquires Cineplex here in Canada. That's an interesting take. I haven't heard too much about that. But they do have a market that they could expose AMC to that they haven't, right? And probably supply chain wouldn't be a huge issue. I mean, maybe it would with an international border now with the way supply chain issues are, but typically you would think with NAFTA, this wouldn't be a big deal as far as doing business. Interesting thought, though. Oh, it was Adrian who said that?
Yeah.
I think he's clowning on us. You trying to clown on me, bro? J Beeb says the Red Sox hat's a huge mistake. They suck right now. I know. We have a Paramount subscription, Danny R says, and get a free AMC movie ticket every month. I believe something is in the works with a merger. Really? You get a free AMC movie ticket every month with your Paramount subscription? That's pretty great. How much is your subscription a month? Because, I mean, it's like $12 to step in the box office, right? How much is your monthly script? Are they making anything this year? Or are they just trying to break even? The fuck? Jeez. Yeah, we definitely don't want anyone bashing streamers on here. Bring it to their attention. It'll be ignored. What are we ignoring? Yeah, we definitely don't want anything brought to our attention on this channel. Me and Tony.
He might not be talking to us.
No, I know. Didn't Paramount ruin Star Trek? Yes, and they also made Stacey Abrams the president of the world. So she might not even be governor of Georgia by the end of the month, but they made her president of the planet. Cineplex was also close to being bought out by the UK chain, which must not be Odeon, right? There's got to be a different UK. Yeah, there is a UK chain. I can't think of what it is right now. Maybe if someone from the British Isles is on here, could fill us in. Sounds like Paramount is testing the waters with AMC, CSI says. Well, they got some kind of agreement if that's correct about the 1 ticket per month to AMC theaters with a Paramount membership. That's interesting. That's a lot of extra money of people coming in with a free ticket and spending towards concessions, right? I don't know if that's good or bad for us. Is that bullish or bearish for us? I don't even know. A free ticket from Paramount. I mean, you're getting the extra concessions, right? That you wouldn't maybe normally get 12 times a year from someone who's got a free ticket in their pocket.
AMC probably gets a couple dollars spiff off of that.
Yeah, I would want the concession money more than anything. I don't care about the ticket price, right?
They're not making a ton of money off of my A-list subscription, giving me 3 free movies a week. They want me to come in and buy $10 popcorn. Right. Oh, by the way, I was going to say, I've been working my way just out of curiosity through the menu on AMC, and we went to go see Thor. Was it last night? Yeah, last night. Me and my son.
I mentioned that.
Scarlett was going to go, but she was tired. I had 3 tickets, and I had to get a refund on one of them. She was too tired to go. And bless her heart, she's not the biggest Marvel fan anyways. But last night I tried the Impossible Chicken Nuggets, which I'm not vegetarian. But the fried macaroni is really good. Have you had that?
No.
Fried macaroni bites, that is delicious. My son always gets the pizzas. He said they're good, but he doesn't know if they're worth the price. And last night I got the Impossible Nuggets, which was like $9 for 9 nuggets. So they're like $1 a piece. And I mostly
vegetarian?
Yeah, they're made out of some
chicken.
Probably made out of soy. I don't know. And I had them with barbecue sauce. I tried the first one plain. It has very little taste of fat or chicken, but it was really crisp and it had a good fried texture. And once you're using the sauce, I mean, you almost can't tell the difference. Not quite as juicy and delicious as a chicken tender, but it wasn't horrible. I was expecting it to be awful. It wasn't awful.
Could you tell it was not chicken?
Only because the taste was a little bit different. I mean, I'm a meat eater, right? Of course I could tell. But I was expected to be able to give it a horrible review. I can't say it was horrible. It wasn't bad at all.
Interesting.
Not as great as chicken, but not bad.
Did you see the AMC spokeswoman Nicole Kidman take a bite out of an insect burger the other day?
Oh,
I don't know
I
what that reaction was. Didn't look so good. Yeah, I don't think she was a big fan. That was just my opinion from her reaction.
I don't know. I mean, I've eaten a lot of weird things. I not sure I'd do a cricket burger. I have watched one video on it, and the person said it was delicious. There's not even any crunchy parts.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. If you want to have great insects, travel to Southeast Asia. There's a smorgasbord of insects on the cheap.
I had chocolate covered ants, but I've never had crickets.
How did they serve that, on a stick or something? How did they get chocolate covered ants?
I was a young kid and my neighbors were Japanese, and they dared me to try it. I think they were little individual things. Pop them in your mouth. Just tastes like chocolate.
Okay. I had a roommate a while back that was from Vietnam for a little while. He made some crazy food, never any bugs, but he made some awesome vegan food that I would have never known the difference, that there was no meat in it. But it's funny when someone does give me the heads up right after I've eaten it, something in my brain just go to like factory settings that this is not good. Even if my brain tricked me earlier saying it didn't taste that bad. Yeah, it changes as soon as I find out exactly what it is. Daniel says, who knows what chicken nuggets are really made from anyways? Exactly. What if the Daily Wire releases new movies exclusively at AMC? Denaro, I think they're going to need, like, they have no movie catalog right now, right? They're just starting out. I realize they're well funded and they have a lot of money for movie productions, but they are just a brand new company as far as their any type of releases, really. I don't even think Terror on the Prairie went to the theaters. I think it was released directly to the streamer, so to Daily Wire. So
Hector says, "Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought."
I was just saying I wouldn't consider that as being a big deal for AMC even if they did sign a contract like that to be exclusive release.
I've seen Hector type his comment a couple times. KC Shaw showed the short interest is being manipulated with lending shares on Ortex. As the short interest goes down, lending shoots up. Maybe so. I'll have to go watch KC Shaw. So if someone could send me a timestamp, that would be helpful because I can't go through an 8-hour video. But short interest is low, and that all is mostly irrelevant to me at this point. They're going to short. They're going to borrow. They're going to return shares. They're going to borrow shares. They do it every day. I get excited when I see really high short interest, and everything else is just noise to me. I want to see really high short interest, and I want to see really high cost to borrow, and we're just not there. I mean, I'm more excited when we're at 23% and 40% cost to borrow, but right now it's just kind of like we need a catalyst. We need a catalyst, or we need, just to hang out at this level and let them load the spring and drive that short interest up again. You got to have high short interest to get a good squeeze. The lower they drop it, the less your squeeze price is going to be, unless you believe there are, hundreds of billions of synthetic shares out there.
Mike, when we switch over, whatever day that happens to be, whether it's August 1st, it looks like it's going to end up being August 1st. There will be much to do running up to the midterms for sure. Trust me. There's going to be about 3 times the amount of material. So we'll have to talk about other things because we're not going to be able to talk about AMC with this amount. Let's see. Someone said you'd have to narrow down the species of ants, Tony, that you had.
That was like 45 years ago. I don't remember.
Biggums, if you have something you want to talk about, bro, you're more welcome to come on. You know that. You don't even have to ask. I'll just send you the link.
I'm gonna see how long his video was.
Okay. Do you guys think the spring he's continuing
59 minutes? Yeah, go watch his video. Talk about cat system delay ISDA bank single ETFs. Yeah, we've all seen the tweets and the anger from Biggums and everybody in the community about cat being delayed. I'm not happy about it either. But he's also telling us, Biggums, I don't want to put words in your mouth, not to worry about it. You can feel free to correct me if I misspoke. Meanwhile, get out of ISDA banks. Get your money in a credit union. Spread the word. All right. Bringer of Z's or ZZA. Do you guys think the spring has continuously been loaded, or has tension been released a bit over the past few months? That all depends on whether you believe the exchange reported short interest or you don't believe it, right? According to the short interest that is reported by shorts to the SEC or to FINRA, the short interest recently has been decreasing. Now, it's always amazes me, like when Revlon has 108% short interest on Ortex and cost to borrow of 800%. People love to retweet that. But if AMC's at 18% short interest and 20% cost to borrow, they don't want to retweet that because it's manipulated, self-reported data. You can't have it both ways, guys. Either the data's good or the data's not good. And, you know, I go by data. Do I think that there's a possibility of all sorts of unreported derivatives and rehypothecation? 100%. There's zero doubt in my mind. But there's not a good tool for us to quantify that I know of. So I'm counting on a short squeeze will happen. And then if we launch beyond a short squeeze into a MOAS, will depend on the part B of that equation. How bad was the rehypothecation? How bad was the derivatives fuckery? That I can't tell you a certainty. Not something, you know, I go by what I can put my eyes on this channel. Plenty of other channels to talk about the other stuff. Maybe they'll be right. Maybe they won't. I hope they are, but I can't comment on it.
What were you talking about?
They were asking about shit. I already forgot the question. Something about
credit.
About the short squeeze and short interest. Oh, is the spring loaded, or is the pressure getting released?
Oh, right. Okay.
I've been very adamant. I do not want the market to fall, and I do not want you to listen to people that tell you stop buying the stock. Because in my opinion, maybe an unpopular one, if the market falls, the shorts will slowly cover as you're not buying because you're scared. They will use that opportunity to lower their short interest. And if you're not buying, you're just opening the door wide for them to cover as it falls.
NPJPK says, impossible for utilization to be 100% for the past 4 months. It's hogwash, all of the data. I would have to agree with you on that, NP. And from everyone that has ever talked about some of that data has explicitly said, do not take it too seriously. The numbers could possibly be double or triple what they really are.
I don't. Ortex is 100% data. Something is screw at that. There's no way we're at 100% utilization unless, and the only rational explanation I could come up with is that this example that I've given from time to time, if I've got $1 million in my bank account and I decide to lend out 500,000 of it, and I lend it out to Massalorian, well, I'm at 100% utilization because all I was willing to lend was 500,000. I've still got 500,000 in the bank account, and maybe tomorrow or next week I decide to lend out another 100,000. Well, I'm still at 100% utilization because in my personal limit, I've lent out all I'm willing to lend. Right? We don't know how they calculate that number. So there is a potential rational explanation. It irritates the fuck out of me that they don't explain what that number is. The best they'll say is, you know, basically what I said. They're at the limit of what they're willing to lend out. Does that mean they might have more back in the back pocket? Yeah, it could be. But that metric pisses me off. And there's no way we're at a real 100% when short interest is low and cost to borrow is low. Those three metrics are not lining up.
1796 Patriot. Good night, my friend. Have a good night, man. Hernandez Marlin says, I don't agree asking other nations for oil, but was he successful in his trip? Any news? Has anyone heard any news on that? I have not. You heard anything on that, Tony?
I just made Diaz a monitor. I just want to a moderator. I think he probably already knows this, but we don't censor people here or delete comments unless they are either insulting other content creators or being, you know, shitty to other people in the chat. Like, you know when the line's crossed. Debate in the chat or debate with us is fine. No one has to agree with anything. But if you're not being intelligent about it, like a normal human, then yes, mute them or block them, Diaz. But other than that, you know, very light touch. Okay.
And if you're new to this stream or either of our channels, we definitely do not encourage any blocking like that. Thankfully, between me and Tony, most of our subscribers know how to behave themselves just for some wild reason, which is awesome for us. But it's not the norm. We typically never do that. And especially us ourselves, we can't do that if we want to. I think the best we can do is put you in a timeout. I don't even know how to do it.
Bigum's chat, top 10 banks.
Yes. Bigum's. Here we go.
Top 10 banks in the world have been fined a total of 7,000 times. Is it that low? That surprises me. If you already know the answer to this. If you add up all the fines that the hedge funds and the banks have paid, it's in the trillions, right? It's a fucking crime that they're allowed to pay a fine, say no comment, basically. We're neither admitting guilt or denying it. We're just going to pay the fine and move on. That pisses me off that they're allowed to do that and just go on about their day.
Imagine their profit margins if they are able to pay fines like that. Then what are we talking about for profit margins on the rules they're breaking? They must be.
I 100% agree. There's fuckery on Wall Street, both crossing the line, illegally doing stuff every day. I read the reports. I retweet some of them. And then there's also fuckery going on where they're operating in the gray area every day looking for, they hire these experts that used to work at the SEC to find the gray areas where we can break the law because it's not a regulation yet. What can we get away with that they haven't explicitly made a regulation on? Wall Street is corrupt. And on top of that, they're in bed with Washington, D.C. Zero doubt in my mind. I'm 100% with you guys on that.
You know, it's funny. You never, we haven't talked about it in a while, but I hadn't brought it up either about working with the woman up here who's running for state rep, trying to work on legislation. And you know what I came to the decision of, and thankfully now I'm leaving, so it won't fall into, I won't be able to handle it the way I thought I would be able to. But, you know, I would hate to bring this politician out and help them to get elected, have them come on to this channel, say with me and you, maybe a couple other people, to talk about some of the laws and regulations that we want implemented, you know, that we the people want our representatives to start clamping down on this shit. Get no more individual stock purchases for fucking members of Congress that can make decisions on policy or that can make money from lobbying. That's got to come to an end because they're basing those decisions that affect all of us off of their portfolio. And that's a problem. So I think that I would have been really embarrassed had I gone through all that and just for someone to get to DC and not come through. There have been so many letdowns by politicians across the board on all, you know, left and right. And I just felt it wasn't worth the risk to try to do that, get everyone all psyched up. And then what happens if it goes south and all of a sudden they get swept up in, you know, the DC bullshit and never do anything. And here we've put, I know, you know, apes and other people, retail investors and people in our community are trying to get this person elected and they don't come through. I don't want to be responsible for that. I just felt like I was leaving my destiny in someone else's hands, and I don't want to do that, right? To an extent. Because I'm vouching for someone, right? That's the way I looked at it. But I still think at the end of the day, we need to talk about legislation on these things, because until we start forcing people to do something, nothing is going to change.
It's hard to find anybody that's on our side in Washington. There's only, you could probably count them on one hand
that are worth their weight in salt.
And I don't even know if I can trust them. I mean, they talk good game. There's a few that talk good game.
Yeah.
But not many. Yep. And they're all, you know, we need to get rid of career politicians, first of all.
Yeah. Yep. I was hoping that this woman coming from a Mao communist country, like she did coming from China, and, you know, she talks a great game, and, you know, she's got a great story, and she's got a real shot to win. But if she ends up going there and not coming through, I would feel terrible on that happening. So gonna try to do something else. Don't know what yet, but
JF says maybe Adam Aaron found a loophole to pay us dividends. That would be nice. I don't know how he can get around the debt covenants that are in place, but you never know. Maybe he found a way.
Yeah, we need them to be profitable again to be able to issue a dividend, right?
You guys have any other tickers you want to ask us about while we're still here before the night ends? Don't ask if you don't want an honest answer, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything for you.
Yeah, Kiwi girl. Like, I had a little more faith in her because of her background and her story. And maybe this is going to be a new generation that are coming into Congress that are really going to start stepping up for the American people. But until that happens, until I can see I need to have some kind of record on her before I just start endorsing someone like that who's never held a seat before. I'm
gonna refill my drink and then come back and answer some questions.
Go for it. Bigham says acceptance waiver and consent. Google it and read it off, Tony. I wonder if he was pulling that up before he just stepped out. Paper Tiger, how you doing tonight, brother? Mud Puddle, good evening. MTG, I reached out to her, believe it or not. I sent her multiple emails. After she made that speech about in Congress on the floor about sending money to Ukraine instead of getting formula, I sent her a couple letters, emails. Someone said they're holding spy thoughts. Bag holding spy thoughts. Oh, SPIR.
I have some SPIR.
Yeah, did you say that earlier?
No. Spire Global. Oh, it's a nano satellite company. I have a little bit of that for a long shot play.
What's a nano satellite company? Like Space Cloud?
You need to do your own due diligence, Massalorian. I'll tell you here in just 1 second, but I got the financial screen up. Total revenue doubled went up about 30% from 2020 to 2021 on the annuals, but it is still currently a pre-profit company. That's the nicest way I can say it. And we all know what's happening since November to companies that had high market caps and no earnings. They all got decimated. So Spire has fallen from $17 to $1.17, Massalorian. We bought it after the dip, but it's a long-term hold for me.
Okay.
And it's a long shot play, guys. They got to get profits. If they get a profitable quarter, then you'll be okay on this one. But if you bought in at 17, well, you're probably looking. We're talking. We need a bull market like 2021 with people willing to pay for companies that aren't making money, nosebleed prices. This was hyped from $9 up to $17, and it was irrational exuberance. But if you got a 5 or 10 year outlook, What? 10 years? What are you talking about, Tony? You got to have a long-term outlook on a company like this. If they don't go bankrupt, I mean, that's just reality, right? When you're not making money, that's always a possibility. I'm holding it, and I'll hold it for a long time and see what happens. But it's a very small piece of my portfolio. So if it goes to zero, I'll be fine.
Couple people
I like a few gambling plays on new technology.
Yeah, check it out, guys. It's interesting what they do. Revlon. Adrian's asking about Revlon. I saw a couple people asking about Revlon and HYMC multiple times.
HYMC. I had in March, I did a video when Adam Aaron announced Hycroft. I said, wait for $1 to $1.20.
20.
And did it drop below $1 again today, or did it come back up?
No, it landed at right over $1.
I finally bought it last week or so at $1. I've been waiting, and I missed those 2 dips in the last month when it went to 98 cents. But I said I'd buy it around $1. I did. Downside is it will go to 30 cents. Upside is if you hang around till 2024, you're going to go through some dilution because they need more money. There will be dilution, in my opinion. More shares issued. You're going to have to live through that. It's going to suck. But they need money and equipment to, and they need more exploration. This is a long game. I hear all the bullish channels. Look, I've read through all the reports, surveys, 100-page surveys, and the quarterly reports. They will freely admit they don't really have any gold pulled out of the ground, and they're not actively doing it. So that's all there for you to go read. Are they potentially sitting on a lot of gold and silver? Absolutely. So have a long-term outlook with Hycroft and be prepared for volatility. That's all I'll say. You might get a chance to pick it up cheaper than $1.
Any thoughts on Revlon T? I know their SI is I think at 105.
I mean, Revlon needs someone to come in and save the company. They need a buyer. Otherwise, they're going to reorganization, and you might get nothing. So you're the my favorite type of investor, the degenerate of the degenerates. You are letting it all hang out on Revlon at this point. The play, the run-up play's done. If you're still holding Revlon, you're counting on someone to come in and rescue that company. And I say good luck. I honestly wish you good luck, but that's not my type of play at this point.
Liz is saying Revlon has 800% cost to borrow and 105 SI. Yeah.
That's meaningless. Yeah. That's meaningless if it goes bankrupt. 100% agree. I get it. I see the numbers too. Not my type of play. Too much risk. If they get someone come in and rescue the company, you will be handsomely rewarded, Liz. Rewarded. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. But you can also sit here and watch it slowly trail down to $1 and watch that cost to borrow sit there and lose all your money. So I mean, both are possibilities.
Paper Tiger said, check it out. It's supposed to be announced on the 21st that Sundial will have a reverse split. Is that true?
Sundial, like in the 30-cent range. And yeah, they're going to have to do a reverse split to stay listed. But I have a little bit of Sundial, very small position. It was a gamble play, another one of those small ones that I bought just in case Congress legalized it, which they didn't. So that dream is crushed. I bought it I waited a year to buy it under 50 cents. So I'm doing just fine.
Oh yeah.
But now my next thing that I'm watching is the reverse split will happen. It's not going to be good for the stock price. Let's say they run it up to $6 or $10, whatever. 20 for one split. 50 for one split reverse, 1 for 50 reverse split, whatever, pick your number. It'll trail down after that. But then right after that, we're going to have their next quarterly update. And my hope is it with these acquisitions that they've done recently, like Alcana, that maybe they'll get a good quarter. And if they do, you could see that stock move up. I don't consider Sundial a short split. A short squeeze. I've heard my friend up in New York say that for the last year and a half. I do not agree. I still bought some because retail likes it, and I like those plays. I like to be in cheap on a play that retail likes, because when there's any good news, they're going to run it up, and I will sell out at $1 or $1.50, and y'all can enjoy any profits above that. But if I got in at 50 cents and can get out at $1.50 in a few months, it's a good deal for me.
Yep. Braven, glad you're still with us, man. Appreciate you stopping by and dropping that info. Guess you haven't talked to Tony in a while. Let's see. Insider buying on Vox. Michael Anthony says. And I'm going to try to get a couple more tickers, guys. Don't worry before we get
I'm looking for Bigum's question here too. Someone said Bigum's asked a question.
By the way, what did Revlon the last 5 days? It's down.
Acceptance, waiver, and consent. Google it and read it off. What are we talking about? Oh, are we talking about when the banks and hedge funds get fined, Bigums?
Fox.
All right, let me Google that.
I'm looking at
what other tickers are there?
I just pulled up the Vox chart, VOXX.
That one I'm not familiar with.
Okay. The last week, it's down almost 30% over the past 5 days. But today, it went up 10%, closed 7-11. Let me see this chart a little further out here. 6 months. So, yeah, I mean, wow. Interesting chart on Vox. This is the old AudioVox Corporation, or the actual AudioVox. I don't think I remember them. They made like boom boxes and tape decks and stuff.
That is a lot to read, Bigums. A lot to read on the live stream. But I put a link to it in the chat, and I'll put a link to it in the video description when we're done. This is what people who violate a SEC rule have to sign, if I'm not mistaken. If they don't dispute the violation and they agree to the fine, if the member or associated person does not dispute the violation, the Department of Enforcement may prepare and request that the member execute a letter accepting a finding of violation, consenting to the imposition of sanctions, and agree to waive right to a hearing. And then, I mean, it goes on for paragraphs and paragraphs after that. Yeah, they basically plead not guilty, pay a fine, and go on about their day.
Start again the next day, right?
All those are published. All those violations, they do get published. But it's irritating.
So Tough Bill closed up 22% today. No, that's wrong, right? No, it closed up almost 10.5%. Tough Bill, Tony, have you looked into that at all in the last couple of days? I know people have been talking about Tough Bill for a long time now. Seems like. I remember people talking about Tough Bill like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it has come up on the live streams. Let me pull up the chart, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to answer the one on IMPP. I used to believe all the crap on shipping companies when I was in my 20s, and I got burned so many times. I will never buy a shipping company again. IMPP.
No way.
That's a hard no for me.
They're all run by Greeks.
They mostly go bankrupt, come up with a new name and start over. It's just, that is a hard no for me.
Sounds like Greeks.
It's like
going bankrupt.
It's the classic pump and dump shipping companies. Sounds so romantic, you know. Surely with the supply chain, they must be making money hand over fist, right? I think when I looked that company up recently, they had 3 ships, which they recently doubled to 6. But you imagine a shipping company having a fleet, right?
Yeah. You're thinking our Armada, you know, something from Lord Nelson, but
I'm sorry, it just does not interest me. I've been burned too many times on shipping companies. Never again.
Sure.
Burn me once, shame on me. Burn me twice, won't happen again. To quote George Bush.
And those were, I remember those were big last spring. A lot of people were into maritime stocks, thinking that they were going to make a lot of money coming up with the boom in the economy, and kind of seeing the opposite, right?
A lot of talk around GOEV. GoEV. Yeah, that's been a fun one this week, right? Let's put the chart up for GoEV. I ran a little contest on my Discord today for someone to guess my trade for the day. I'm going to now disclose it publicly.
You want drum roll?
Do I want what?
Drum roll?
Nah.
No dramatic noise. Okay.
So GoEV had a contract announced with Walmart. The contract that I wish Mullen would have had announced for all the people that had strikes expiring on Mullen today. I watched, do you know the God Pill lost $100,000 today on Mullen?
I did. Yeah.
You know, Mullen investors needed this announcement. GoEV, also known as Canoe, announced a contract with Walmart for, do I have that right? Was it Walmart?
Yes, I believe you do.
Mullen had 600 vehicles with the Amazon contractor. GoEV had Walmart. 4,500 vehicles with the option to buy 10,000 more. Good news. It popped the stock. That's great news. But then sanity kicked in and people started realizing, like I did right away, that 4,500 vehicles is not really that much, and it's going to take a few quarters for the profits to translate into financials. So that it started trailing off, and then boom, right again the next day, news about the U.S. military being interested in Canoe popped it right back up. Right. That's what happened here. You saw a big volume spike trailing off volume. That you should have been able to short it right here, but boom, they dropped a second bomb. It's like when they put those landmines over in Iraq, Iran, and
IEDs.
You run in and then the second one goes off. They laid a trap for the shorts.
Right.
I did not short it here. I did not buy puts, nothing. But I mean, for anyone who bought in here and thought they were going to lose money, you got a moment of reprieve. I think, my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I think it's going to go back down. So I bought puts on GoEV right here in the middle of the day today. That was my trade of the day. So I have $3 strikes on GoEV now, and it's at 430. When I bought in, it was at 470. Will I be right? Stay tuned next Friday. But I'm watching 2 patterns of spike on news and then evaporating volume. Same thing here. And we see this over and over. Retail rushes in. They're told this is the best thing ever. And people exaggerate. And YouTubers who don't look at charts and don't look at financials just look at one thing, a news item, and they make these wild predictions. I don't think that, long term, I like Canoe, and this is a great contract. It's a great start. Nothing wrong with the company, but it's young, and this was their first big deal. I don't even think they've made zero revenue yet if I pull up their financials. So I think it will trail off next week. That's my thoughts.
Put it this way. The entire market, if it continues to trend the way it has been over the last 4 months, you're going to probably see that price tail off until we get another announcement of a big buyer coming in or something else. Until we get something like that, you know, I wouldn't expect to see that type of bounce again.
I look at a lot of things before I jump in a play, and it's not just short interest, and it's not just cost to borrow, and it's not just news. I posted something in the Discord yesterday, and this is the reality, guys, whether you like it or not. In the short term, the stock market is a voting machine, popularity contest, if you will. But in the long term, it's also a weighing and measuring machine. And that always comes down to fundamentals and financials. Yeah, I'm looking at revenue for GoEV. 0 revenue on this company ever. Oof. It's gonna come back down, guys. There's 0 doubt in my mind. It's fantastic news. I hope you made money on the run up. If you were already in it, I hope you got out and you buy it when it comes back down to 230. Nothing wrong with the company for a long-term bet, but this was a great opportunity to double your money, wait a few weeks, and jump back in. That's how I view it. Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't get 100% of them right, but I get a lot of them right.
Angelina, what's going on? Good evening. Rick James says, Liz, I 1000% agree. Revlon will be very good.
Based on what?
Does not say. I'm assuming.
I'm just curious. Like it's fine to have an opinion, but I want to know based on what. Let's have a discussion, guys.
Well, we got 2 of the 4 catalysts not catalysts, but 2 of the 4 conditions. Oh, that was to me, Thomas. Okay, hang on 1 second, brother. I got you. 800% it cost to borrow, 105 at SI, and then you said we needed good news, right? And then what was the 4th thing that you?
A catalyst, high short interest, high cost to borrow, and a loaded up options chain.
The load options chain. That's what I was forgetting.
And buying pressure.
Yeah. When will we see that combination? Because that's when we'll probably see a little bit
of a run. To get a MOAS, you really got to have all those.
Mm-hmm. A MOAS, yeah. To somehow push Revlon to $20, $30 a share. If that's what everyone's still based on this run ending up at somewhere along those lines. That might have changed recently. I don't know. If it has, guys, let me know.
When you guys see something like Redbox go from $2 to 18 and all the YouTubers are telling you it's going to 500, in my channel we're selling at 18. Right? We do it a little different here, so I understand my viewpoints and the way I analyze stocks are upsetting to people, but we're making money and we're not bag holding. So I look at all of these. I will absolutely play all of these plays with you, but I'm getting out as soon as I see it top out, and I'm not looking back. I'm not hoping. You know, I'm already doing that on AMC. Why do I want to do it on a bunch of other stocks?
Right.
They just don't have the investor base to carry them. They don't have the community to carry them.
I don't know if you've read this or not, but Biggums did write back and said Tony acceptance waiver and consent is how they avoid trial and criminal charges by not admitting guilt, and they pay the fine so they can't be tried again. It's almost like an Alford plea in criminal court, right?
Yeah. It's like it's not even criminal court. It's like what's the other one where it's not criminal?
Civil?
Yeah, it's like a civil court, and you go say not guilty, and the judge says just pay your fine and have a nice day.
Right.
That is criminal that they're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Yep. Angelina,
those
good evening.
Who have the money, make the rules, Massalorian.
We've been preaching that for a little bit now. Mike Ginsler is not our Lord and Savior. Put it that way. Let's see.
Our Baglio said, what expiration? I guess he's asking for my GOEV. I did the expiration for next Friday, Mr. Baglio, for my $3 strikes. And so, I don't have, I mean, I don't buy puts on everything that runs up with retail, but the payout chart on this one is stupendous. It's a very good payout if it comes below $3, or, you know, 230 would be beautiful. I don't know if it'll get that far that fast, but even if it drops close to 3, I'll be doubling my money in 5 days. If it trades flat or goes up, I will lose my money. So I make small trades on these. I don't go spend 100,000 on options. That's just stupid. No YOLO for me on options.
No. Thomas, I'm going to try to translate that. Does that say Kalinikta Massalorian in Greek writing? Frozen State Productions. Good evening, buddy. How you doing tonight? If I still remember my Greek alphabet. Just got off work. Nice way to start the weekend. Glad to have you with us. Prometheus said, okay, it's like pleading no contest. That's even a better way to describe it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great point. Great point, Prometheus. Okay, so I saw someone in the chat say that they have their earnings report as well next week. Is that true on Revlon? That's something you can add to positive information if they're supposed to have a good. I'm not sure if they were talking about Revlon now still at that point.
Okie AMC says, how can you tell when a stock tops out? Usually what I'm looking for, I mean, just look at the Go EV chart. You're seeing every candle on the hourly, for example, is lower than the one before it. And the volume is decreasing every hour. It's harder to see on the daily. You got to look at least the hourly. But this is one of those plays where it's going to, if it falls, it's going to happen so quick that using the daily is pointless. If you want to see an example of what that looks like, let me put up one other chart here.
IMPPs. Earnings are about to come out, not Revlons. Thank you, Stephen.
Pull up my screen, Mass. This was EVFM today. Look at this candle when it finally capitulated.
Doofy. That's rough.
If you're waiting for the daily chart to tell you that this play's done, you know, you're going to get
ouch.
You're going to get bad signals. But look at the volume on EVFM. This play was over on 628, and then it got, for some reason, I don't know why, the volume was not really there, but it got a second chance. Sometimes we see that. It got a second chance on July 7th. And then the volume, you got to look at the volume, guys. Don't just look at short interest and cost to borrow. Not to mention, this was a ridiculous play in the first place. Everybody was hyping it because it was after Roe v. Wade, a couple of birth control companies got hyped, EVFM and ENDP. This company sells a vaginal gel contraceptive, if I'm not mistaken. Ladies, are you beating down the door to go buy vaginal gel because you can't get an abortion now? Come on. What? You got to ask yourself, what sense does that make? I heard people making videos. Like their sales are going to skyrocket. Vaginal gels were always available, and it's not something that people that can't get an abortion automatically decide, well, I better start going buying some gel. But it was a fantastic trade on the way up. Beautiful. Run with it, guys. But then take the money and get out. If you got in this at 20 or 30 cents and rode it up to $1.40, you are high on the hog. Take the freaking money. Don't listen to these guys telling you it's going to $5. Use your noggin.
Walk. Yeah, Adrian, I agree. After so many violations, it should become no longer a civil matter, but now it becomes a criminal matter and punishable by jail, I would say. After a certain number of infractions, no longer can you continue to pay fines. That's not a sustainable business model if you can make more profit and then you're going to be punished for breaking the law. There's only so long that we can continue to do that and still be involved in the stock market. Retail, at least as a whole. Vin Cool, sorry, T, says, what time frame would you look at during a MOAS for volume?
I'll have two screens up, probably one with the 1 minute and 5 minute, but I'll also be looking at the hourly. It honestly depends for AMC and GameStop. If there are a bunch of synthetics and derivatives and how fast the price goes up. I hope it goes so fast that I don't have to think about it.
Me too.
And if I see it starting to turn and the volume dropping off, well, I'm already going to be selling on the way up. I've already told you guys that. I'm not waiting to try and time the top. I will be selling in batches or brackets, whatever you want to use, as it's going up. And what those batches and brackets are, I don't know, because it will depend on the velocity and the catalyst. What's making it go up? Do I know what it is so I can apply some thought to it? Did Adam Aaron do a partnership with Paramount? Well, I'm going to give it a lot more room to run on something like that versus no news. It just runs out of nowhere. I'm going to be a lot more judgmental. If I can't figure out why it's running, I'm going to be a lot more cautious and sell lower than I would like to.
Yep. Carl J says, can't time a top. Very hard to do. Carl J, I beg to differ. There's one gentleman who has correctly predicted almost every top of some of the biggest runners of the year.
Who?
And he's in jeopardy of losing his channel right now from what I've seen in the comment section. So I hope that's not true. Let's see.
His name is in the comment section?
I saw someone mention him earlier.
Do you not want to say his name?
We could say his name. You know, Ape Father, he got 4 strikes, I guess, all of a sudden today.
Yes.
And he knows the tops. He buys in at every top on every significant squeeze so far this year. So
yeah, you should be monitoring that channel. If he's saying that it's run up for 2 or 3 days and he's considering loading the boat with AMC,
get out.
Because it's now, it's going from 300 to 3,000. If he says that, immediately sell.
Dump
because
everything.
He's got a fantastic skill. I'm not joking. He's got a fantastic skill. He's misapplying it. He has correctly called the top on almost every play by announcing his intention to buy. I'm not knocking him.
It's like
he's
they
just
know
misapplying his expertise.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Misappropriated. That's right, T. Yes. Let's see. Can you talk about AGRX? Oki AMC said another Roe versus Wade play better than ENDP. AGRX
is already done.
You did that one?
I mean, I've been watching it. It spiked on June 28th, 29th.
Yep. To 240
to 280, and now it's at 50 cents. Why would you still be holding it? The volume is non-existent. Oh, but Tony, I know you're going to say short interest cost of no. This is done. It dropped lower than it started before the squeeze. Come on, guys.
BMRA, could this work dipping again after news going to sell in Walmart stores? Did you talk about BMRA?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay. It's called Mush. Yeah, he's like the guy from Donnie Brasco. Was it Donnie Brasco? The guy that always picked the losers on the horses. As soon as he bet, they knew they just ripped their tickets up before the race even started. Remember? Remember that scene? They all bet on and then he came along, the loser, and they just ripped their tickets up before the race even took off. He's like, "What do you rip up your tickets for? It's over." He bet seventh in the fifth. It's over. Angelina says Ape Father is correct. No, he's just been able to. He's bought in at the very top of every squeeze that we've seen in the last 14 months.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Last week, he made a video. He's like, guys, I'm thinking about buying ENDP. It's had a great run up. I've been watching it for a few days. It's run up from 39 cents. It's currently around 80 cents. This is looking good. I immediately went in my Discord. I said short ENDP. And within an hour, it started falling and it went all the way back down to 30 cents.
True story.
That's not a joke.
Nope. Is that good?
He's now one of my contraindicators. God love you, Father. Richie Lavoie. We do use you. And
yeah.
I can help you make money, Richie, but you got to flip when you feel the urge to buy, Richie, buy puts or short, because your instincts are correct. They're just 180 degrees out of phase.
The other way. Yep. Just do the opposite of your gut feeling. And
whatever your gut is telling you, do the opposite. You will be rich, Richie Lavoie.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They literally call you Richie Lavoie. And Carl says if he was just a short, he'd be the man. LML.
Yeah, he would be killing it.
I know. Rick James says, I'll give Ape Father one thing. Credit for only one thing. He definitely made this entire journey hilarious. Stupid amount of money on AMC. I'll buy him an island. There you go. I hope he comes out all right at the end of this. I mean, those 4 strikes are going to hurt, but I guess he'll fight them, right? He's just got to take the videos down. They can't, as long as he takes down the videos, he'll be all right. Let's see. I definitely can't take anything speedy or my heart would explode, says Angelina. Yeah, don't take anything speedy. They never did horse race. That's what I thought, Adrian. They didn't do horse racing scenes in Goodfellas. I think it was Bronx Tale, actually. That was from. I'm pretty sure it was Bronx Tale. Because he was in the basement. They were throwing dice. And that was when we first got introduced to him as a character, that he was a loser.
I'll be right back. I got to go grab a cable for my charger.
Yep. Adrian said, Angelina, can you cue the speeder? But can you cue the speeder? I assumed you meant sleep meds, not speed meds. Let's see. 24 the money. McDonald's needs a stock split. Easy runner if they did. It was Bronx Tale. Thank you. Yeah, I think Sonny actually dropped the first. Sonny V dropped the movie. I used to be much better at this before I got so wrapped up in this play. I would vote for him.
You'd vote for who? Ape Father?
Yeah, for president, just for shits and giggles. I would do it. Just to be like, I voted for Ape Father.
Woo! Happy Friday, everybody. Cheers.
Are you boozing right now?
I got a little tequila mixed in with the Diet Coke. I had about 2 shots left, so yeah, I've been sipping on that for the last 2 hours, 3 hours. Where are we at? 3 hours in, 2 shots. That's just enough to ease into Friday night, ease into the weekend.
I should have got something to drink. It was like the one night I could drink because I'm just doing laundry tonight. I don't have to actually be up that early. Actually, I do have to get up tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow morning.
You got to work tomorrow?
Yeah. Damn it. I just thought of that. Oh, my God. I have a job tomorrow morning at 8:30.
Well, we probably ought to wrap it up then because it's like 12:30 your time, isn't it?
I forgot all about that. Leslie Wickens, happy Friday. Angelina, have a good night, hon. Michelle loves freedom. Good evening. How you doing tonight?
If you guys are just joining in for whatever reason, we covered a lot of material tonight. What did we cover? DRS, GameStop, stock split, FTDs,
reverse ETFs,
reverse, yeah, single stock ETF, leverage ETFs. Go back and watch it on replay if you're interested in any of those things.
GME split dividend.
Huh?
GME split dividend, stock split dividend.
We got the rundown on your new pad in Rhode Island.
Yep.
Had a little bunny talk.
Had some bunny talk. Yep. Some gnarly testicle talk. When I get down there tomorrow after work, I'll take some more pictures and put them up. I'll post them up on the community page. Hopefully, 4 walls will be up tomorrow. We'll be able to lock in for sound just to start doing sound checks.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's very different hearing from us, from everybody else on YouTube. You don't have to agree with us. That's cool. We still love you. Hopefully you still love us. Everything is just opinions, and I invite you to listen to a variety of opinions and weigh them over time and, decide where your time is best spent. Not everybody gets 100% of everything right. Everybody's pulling, at least in the plays that most of you are here caring about, we're all pulling in the same direction. We're all on the same team. We have different opinions about stuff. It's all good. We're all still friends, not just me and you, but us and the other content creators. And almost everybody, with a very 1 or 2 exceptions, is adult enough to agree we can all have slightly different opinions on plays. But I would urge you guys, I see people in the comments sometimes that get really, really emotional if we don't agree with what someone else said. It's fine. You don't have to agree. But I hope if the plan didn't work out and we were right, that you come back. And if we weren't right, well, then don't come back. That's cool. I would understand. I wouldn't listen to someone that continually gets something wrong either. But I think my track record has been pretty spot on most of the time. And if I'm doing something risky or speculative, I will always tell you, like buying those puts on GOEV for next Friday. That's a speculative play based on chart analysis and gut feeling. Maybe I should have given myself a little more time, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money buying more time. So just threw a couple bucks in there. They were $13 each, guys. Buy 10, 20, 30 of those. Are you going to miss $100? But if you could make 500 out of 100, that's buy your wife a nice dinner, buy some more AMC, whatever you want to do with it. Mash, You got any closing comments?
Yes, I do. Thank you to all my mods. We had Adrian tonight, Diaz, Liz, Clayman. Those are the 3 just to rip off top of my head right now. If I've missed your name, please pop up so I can give you a shout out. Thank you to everyone who dropped some cash into the account tonight. This move's expensive, and it's going to allow me to free up some more time, though. Taking this spot and sharing rent with someone, having the place to myself. I'm paying all the bills on my own. So this is going to allow me to free up more time to look into stories and keep track of what's truth and what's not in the news, just in general. I think we're in a fight right now for the soul of this country and the soul of the market. So I want to keep just doing what I'm doing, and hopefully YouTube won't crush me. And by the way, before I go, if you guys get a chance, go try to support Jackson Hinkle. Tony, you got crazy feedback coming back right now, like an echo. If you guys get a chance, thanks. Go check out Jackson Hinkle. Give him some support. He's been covering the Ukraine war really well. He's been doing an excellent job of getting the facts. Had some great interviews on YouTube. Just completely demolished his channel, demonetized him. He had to take down all his videos. So if there anyone, he's a trust journalist, in my opinion, investigative journalist. So if you can support him, that can be any one of us one day. You know, try to stop by and tell him Mass sent you.
Philip, I want to give a special shout out to Philip. Thank you, Philip, for that support of the channel, and to each and every one of you for being here tonight, for your time, your views, your thoughts, your questions, your comments, to the mods also, for all of the work that you guys do. And the channel that I want to call out again, if you haven't watched the channel Just Another Ape, and you want to know more about our thesis about Paramount and a potential partnership with AMC, it's just a thesis. We're not predicting anything, but go get informed on that, and give him your sub and your views. He's got a good head on his shoulders for a relatively young trader. He's younger than me. I think he said he's 30.
Really?
He's done already 2 videos on Paramount and AMC, so go check him out. Just Another Ape.
Rick, I did not get a sugar mama. I just I had my buddy just got a divorce and bought a place, and he needs help paying the mortgage on it because interest rates, as we all know, are going up slowly but surely. So yeah, not a sugar mama. Maybe I can get him drunk one night and have him fool around, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough. We've known each other a long time. It'd be a little awkward. Raven, I saw your comment about super chats. I have not seen any. T, have you seen any? I will go check when we sign off.
Yeah, I had a couple, and thank you very much.
Did? Okay.
I mean,
okay.
You guys are the ones helping pay the bills for all the software and the subscriptions we pay for out of our pocket to provide you all this content. So as the income of the channel goes up, that gives me more options to subscribe to things like Bloomberg and Morningstar and Wall Street Journal and Ortex and Fintel. You know, all of those things add up. Restream, what's Restream mess? Like $50 a month, something like that for the premium.
Yeah, and they just made us all get it to do the collabs now. In order to link our channels, we have to get the upgraded version, which we didn't before. Now they're making you pay for that.
So all of that help is definitely appreciated. And you guys know we're not cranking out 20 videos a day, hoping that the squeeze lasts forever. I mean, both of us put out very few videos. We're not making our money from YouTube. I can tell you. So
I can promise you I brought $0 in the last 9 days.
Huh?
I brought in $0 in the last 9 days. I promise.
Yeah. Your support is, and your views both are supported and helpful in helping us continue to do this. And I plan on being here long after this play, giving you common sense advice from somebody who is not here to hype or give you ridiculous price targets. We make plenty of money on these plays like ENDP, EVFM, Redbox, but I look at it with a more seasoned, experienced viewpoint. I'm not just looking at 1 or 2 indicators. I'm looking at many, many things to get my price targets. And that's what I want to share with you, how to do that. That's all. That's all.
Good way to end it, T. Guys, thank you so much. So I hope you guys just understand where I've been. Hopefully we're going to wrap up in the next few days and have everything set to go. Next live stream might not be till next Wednesday. I think I probably got about 4 good solid days of work left. before I can be up and operating in there in a professional manner and be able to collab with Tony and have the quality be something that's worth your while to tune into. So I just need a few more days. Hopefully you guys can hang with me till then. I'm going to try to make a video tomorrow. But if not, Wednesday, I'm hoping to go live from the new studio, and then start on August 1st. We'll have the new format, new hours, new shows, all that stuff.
If you need help moving, give me a call, Mass. But if I'm not available, I think Al is in your neighborhood. So give him a ring.
Yeah, he's in shape. He could probably really help me with the big stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would be an asset.
Let's go, give him a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, I could do that. And a couple shots of tequila. That's what got him talking the last time. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks to all of you who have reached out and wished me well with this move and everything. I love all you guys. Appreciate it. And I know I can speak for T2 on that. And thank you for coming by and supporting us all this time, guys. Hopefully we'll touch base before the weekend's out. And if not, we'll be meeting the middle next week. Next live.
I'll be around all weekend. Hopefully I got more videos coming out. So we'll see you this weekend. I'll be around.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great night and the rest of your weekend.